painfully rude of me to just shut the door and not answer?
Oh, God, that's awesome. Sick, dude. Oh, it's sick. Would it be painfully rude of me? Is this the man who ruined Oh, is this the man who wrecked the buffet at the Herald Club? Oh, dude, I'm listening to fucking Paul McCartney and Wings, and I'm lamenting about someone coming over to have sex with me. And I'm like, should I just lock the door?
Should I not let her in?
Oh, let's speak. Answer for yourself, emo Kev.
Maybe it would. I kind of did invite her down. I don't know. I just don't want to deal with anybody.
Why, man? Why, emo Kev? Why don't you want to deal with anybody?
Procrastinate or have some hours to myself, and what do I do? Go to sleep and eat.
Fucking par for the course. Not much has changed.
All right, that part's over, emo.
Too fucking close to home is real low.
Eat some dopey potatoes and cereal.
I was making myself instant mashed potatoes and cereal. Not together, mind you. One is a pre-course to the other.
I want to put my comics where I want to put my room in order, but I just have no time. And if you're going me to go back and forth, well, that would be an hour away.
I want to put my room together. I want to put my comics together. I just don't have time. What does this kid have to do, man? Nothing. He works at Quick Stop. Maybe he's got to go to work. The rest of the time, he lives at home, dude. He lives with his parents. This kid doesn't have to produce any results and shit. So much so, he's lamenting about not having time, but instead he's narrating his life like he's a fucking Batman.
Potatoes and cereal.
Yeah. Or justice.
As the hours go past, I get more and more upset that I didn't show up. So
apparently also doesn't understand how a tape recorder works because I've walked far away from the microphone.
The question here is, what time am I going to go back to?
What was it?
The question here is, am I going to answer the door or not?
Actually, the question here is, am I going to answer the door or not?
I mean, how would you not answer the door?
Could you imagine? This girl like comes all the way to fucking have sex with me, and I'm just like not going to answer the door. Believe me, I'm making myself mashed potatoes. I know I'm going to answer the door because I'm like, I'm at least getting blown. This is my whole life, dude. I mashed potatoes, some cereal. I get blown. I got to go off to work. I just think I think it's me trying to feel way more important than I was, or trying to be philosophical or find something, trying to find some pain to write about. Who the fuck knows why this jackass would record himself? And
how much is there?
There's an hour more.
Is it all the same day?
No, there's more. There's this is from I go from talking about, whether or not I will open the door to have sex with this person, to the bike riding and fucking
to the beach.
Women, why do I bother? Shit like that.
No way.
Oh, dude, talking about like they just break your heart. Like, it's nuts. When do you think he realizes that he's too far away from the mic?
Because as we speak,
there,
our little lass is getting out of school.
I called her a little lass. I said that little lass getting out of school. So I'm out of school and she's in school. I'm trying to have sex with a high schooler here. And if this is 1990, I'm 19 years old. So I guess
it's not crazy.
It's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. It's all pink in high school.
Possibly even on our way down, possibly even here. I remember much about Hudson's time schedule. Which is a good sign. Knowing too much about the old high school. Definitely. You're stuck in the past.
How can I talk about being stuck in the past when I'm fucking like 19 years old? There is no past.
All those kids stuck in the past.
Yeah. Where's my head? Back when I was in the shit in 11th grade.
And I try not to think of myself as stuck in the past.
Speak up. I can't hear you.
Where's my aspiration?
Oh, all right.
Why am I not going there?
There we go. This is where it gets deliciously. You can feed. You could feast on the fucking introspection and the emo coming up. If you were a Dementor, you go home a fat Dementor. And they'd be like, "What happened to you, Bill?" And he'd be like,
"Oh shit, you should have seen this kid.
I got one of these fat bitches." He was reminiscing, you know what I'm saying? Reminiscing. Hurry, don't be late.
Oh, I gotta go lay down.
When you suck a reminiscer clean, man, it's like tryptophan turkey. It's like Thanksgiving. You want to go lay down to bed, but all the coats are there. Like, that's Phil. He doesn't quite
He's
understand.
Dr. Dementor.
Dr. Dementor. Phil marches to the beat of his own drum. Some people like to encourage that. I don't. It's painfully unfunny, but he thinks he's funny and individual. So hey, Phil, good on you. Hey, Dr. Dementor himself, ladies and gentlemen. He who shall not be named is going to kill that fuck thing one day. All right, hold on.
Why am I not going there? Why is it taking me so long?
Where am I going? Why am I not going there? Why does it take me so long?
Yeah.
19-year-old Kev wants to know, Scott.
Is Amy's mother right? Where's my ambition?
Is Amy's mother right? I've talked about that note that I still have framed in my office.
You'll never be a famous writer.
Also, you can see that on that this morning show until there's a clip of that, but you can see the actual piece of paper. Here's her. This chick I was dating, her mom was like, Kevin Smith will never be a famous writer. He lacks the drive or ambition. I do wish him luck. Weird thing for a woman to give a child. 19-year-old. Whatever. Still weird.
A little boy. 19.
An impressionable innocent.
Where's my aspiration? Will I answer the door?
Back to the door.
I just want to reach through the headphones and be like, are you crazy? It's pussy.
What are you doing?
Yeah, fucking ruminate later. Narrate your boring ass life later on, dude.
Where's your ambition for pussy?
Get your dick wet, little Kev. Bury it, please. What a great Smodcast that would be. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I sound like when I fucked at age 18. It's like fucking 3 seconds long. I'm like, have a week.
Get on!
I love you. Let's get married.
Like, where are you going? Where's my ambition?
It's anybody's guess. Would you answer the door?
He's talking to you.
Already, but it sets the seeds for the fact that you already had an audience in your mind.
I just hadn't met him yet.
Would you?
Presented for your approval. A boy, scared, so scared of sex, so terrified. He'll talk himself out of answering the door to easy pussy. Oh, hold on.
That's amazing.
I could probably get sexed.
Oh, that's how I thought that. Yeah, 1990 Kev was like, I want to get sexed. I want to sex you up. That's how I answered the door. Ooh, and I was working my nipples. She ran back to school. She's like, I'd rather play field hockey. I'm like, oh, you fucking jerk.
I guess I shouldn't answer the door.
I almost didn't answer the door, you bitch. So I'm the winner. Don't you run away thinking you won.
Right back to the corner.
Why did I answer the door?
You wouldn't answer the door. You would have been smarter.
Would you have? And she's running off. I'm like, I'm going to tell my fucking tape recorder. Where's my shit? Click. Oh, that bitch.
Small consolations.
I feel like he said that a few times. It must be his thing.
Small constellation.
Yeah.
Actually, the bed looks comfortable. I'd like to go right back to bed.
Active. Busy life making these instant mashed potatoes. It's taking a lot out of me. Oh, I gotta lay down.
Where's my ambition?
I should have to wonder what time my parents are coming home too. Them walking in, her here, no, just wouldn't look right, especially if I didn't do anything. Especially if my room was still a mess. That's what I think I'll do when Laura gets here. I'll take a shower. And I'll put my room together.
And I'll jerk off. And then I won't answer the door. Could you imagine narrating a life this boring? But this was
what do you mean, like Twitter?
I guess you're right. This is kind of like the pre-Twitter, man. This is Twitter.
Except you had the good sense to sit on
Keep it to myself. This is the modern day equivalent of like, got coffee. So hot.
Yum yum coffee.
Hashtag.
Need to wake up.
Hashtag
tired.
Wake up, bitch. I am Twitter, dude.
Makes a move on me. All right. And we'll get sexed. But I'm not putting any first moves. It's number one, I'm too tired.
Can't be bothered with pussy, Scott. Too tired for it. It's like so tired from narrating every movement.
Number two, I'm not in the mood.
Why? Why aren't you in the mood? Get in the mood, dude.
Come on, Kev.
I want to tell that kid, like, you know how many orgasms you get? Lots, but still, every one of them is precious as
get one more.
A snowflake. Yeah, for each one you have another. It's 2 for 1 when it comes to coming, dude. Not up. She's on her way.
Answer the door.
If this chick knew how I'm sitting here for fucking 3 minutes talking about her in the tape, she would be scared.
Yeah.
She'd be like, I'm not touching
I'm not
your
knocking
dick.
the door.
Yeah, how about the next knock on the door is going to be the police.
Well, I got things to do. I should put this room in order. I promised I would.
Ever fucking like
put this room in order?
Ever like I'm not going to get laid because fucking an orderly room is more important. Because my mother would harangue me all the time
about cleaning
this room's
your room.
A mess. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And for the record, it wasn't really that messy.
Gotcha.
I promised a lot of things, including myself. Oh, don't get that. Don't get depth now.
Don't get depth. I said, don't get depth. Don't get depth now. But like, what's depth about? Like, sometimes I like to come. Sometimes I'm too sleepy. I'm positively Walt Whitman-esque. Or maybe that should
Making the ordinary things extraordinary.
Or make that E.E. Cummings in your face. Yes. I wish I was that witty. Where's the fucking Kev Smith everyone knows? There ain't no fucking talk about Star Wars or fucking pussy or fucking Star Wars, Batman. Pussy a little, but not as pussy. More about like,
I don't want it.
She's great. No, why can't I get into a chick?
Holy shit, dude. That sounds fucking, are we sure this isn't Don Smith's fucking diary? He's like, why can't I get into a chick? The next words out of my mouth.
Gross me out.
Why don't girls have wieners? Do you know? I'm like, Scott, you want to handle this one?
I'm dreaming about Kim. It's a kiss of death. But dreams aren't real and you can ignore them.
You know that? Anyone ever tell you that, Scott? I figured it out apparently at a young age. Dreams aren't real. And you can ignore them. As I fucking obsessively tape record about it.
Oh my God.
All that barking. It's coming closer.
It's fucking like the son of Sam. I'm like, won't you stop barking? I won't do it. And I go out as the fucking 45 caliber killer.
He's coming to the front of the house. Maybe I should go look. I see I look halfway presentable.
Will I open the door?
No, not really, but at least better than a pig. I took my shirt in. Yeah, right.
Taking out myself.
Yeah, right.
Check my shirt in. Yeah, right. Fucking Harvey Dent, dude.
An old PH kid walking in front of the house.
Old PH kid walking in front of the house must have a uniform on.
If I thought in poetic terms, it might be a shadow of my former self staring at me, wondering why I'm dressed that way at this time of the day.
Oh.
That's amazing.
An old PH kid walking in front of the house. Odd. If I thought in poetic terms, it might be a shadow of my former self staring at me.
If I thought in poetic terms, it might be a shadow out loud into a tape recorder. It might be a shadow of my former self looking at me.
Wondering why I'm dressed that way at this time of the day.
Wondering why I'm dressed this way, meaning not wearing a uniform at this time of the day. I guess it was in the morning.
Wondering how come I'm not in college.
Fucking little bit of Dante right there.
Yeah.
That was at that age, dude, that's all fucking anyone force fed you was just like, you gotta go to college. Oh, everybody we went to school with, I went to school with, I don't know about you. College. They all went to fucking college. You gotta go to college. This one's going to college because they want to be a fucking doctor and shit, which I guess makes sense. But
you and your education.
Yeah, I was like, I want to be a doctor without all that work. Take your pants off. It was such a college heavy mentality. I wonder if it exists anymore.
I had like people. I felt that like I felt like it was like go to college. What do you want to do? I mean, I kind of knew I wanted to try film school from like the time I was 15 or 16. So
did you really that early on?
Yeah,
I didn't know that shit until 21. Imagine if I'd known when I was like 15, 16 and shit. Things might have been different.
It wasn't, I mean, even though I knew it was just like a path, but I didn't really I wasn't really pursuing it.
When we were younger, Steven Spielberg ran around his backyard with a Super 8 camera when he was a child. I'm like, I didn't have that opportunity. I'm fucked. No wonder he made Jaws. You're 7 years old running around with a fucking camera. Yeah. That's starting early. Now that's like what we have. Everybody's like that.
Yeah,
well, not everybody's like Spielberg, but you could put a camera in the hands of anybody. I saw my kid shooting movies and editing them when she was like 10. Like it was mind bending. Different fucking world, man. But nobody telling her, like, it's so weird. It's so different. Nobody's telling, she's now 13.
Yeah.
So she's in 8th grade. She'll be heading into 9th grade next year. There's no real like fucking talk of college. We're like, if you want to go, great. If not, don't worry about it. If you go in state, you can totally live at home. Like if you're going to go to UCLA at one point, you like UCLA or talked about UCLA or something like that. But there's no like, oh man, I got to go to college. That, at least in this house, doesn't seem to exist. And maybe, Jennifer pushes her academically, but man, I'm just like, motherfucker, college. It's a lie, kid. College is a lie and it costs a lot of money. Don't go, please. Don't go. I want that money for me.
I'll homeschool you.
I need DVDs. She's like, we're all fucking digital, Dad. Whole library's up in the cloud. I was like, I know, but I like walking in and shopping. All right, let's dive back into fucking emo cat.
Let's leave emo Scott and old really. Emo.
Listen to us. We're still talking into tape recorders going,
there's a shadow of my former self.
I like Hudson. I like it a lot. All my friends went there. Phone. Maybe this is Laura. Just the post office.
What?
I thought maybe this is Laura. And then it was just the post office. Called.
Oh.
Phone, Scott. I don't know if you remember what those are like, but phones.
Did you answer it? Like
I did, and then I paused the tape.
Oh, okay.
Someone from personnel. Am I going to wind up to be like my old man? Which isn't bad for him, but Oh no, car.
Everything distracts me. I'm like a fucking kid
like
looking for Ritalin. Yeah, like, ooh, puppy tail. Car. Oil pH kid.
Phone.
Dad. Sad. Future.
Girl.
College. Laura. Door. Answer.
Looks like... Oh, it is. It's Laura. Here we go.
Never has someone been so unhappy to get pussy. Here we go. God, do it. I just want to smack him.
Once again on the way home from work.
Okay, once again on the way home from work. Yeah, now we've paused. We've jumped out in time.
Okay.
Maybe we'll find out what happened with Laura. Apparently, I did answer the door.
Yes.
If I'm saying I'm riding home, I guess I'm in a car?
Yeah.
Maybe in a car? Yeah. I mean, it sounds pretty loud.
Unless you're on a bus.
Well, later on, I talk about riding a bike, which I was like, this can't be me. I did something physical?
October 3rd. The end of the...
October 3rd, 1990, this is. Scott.
October 3rd, 1990.
90s almost. 2 more months.
No. 89.
Once again on the way home from work. October 3rd.
You're walking.
The end of the 90s almost.
No, you're on a bike.
The end of the 90s. This was recorded during Dogma?
It was recorded 2 days ago.
Kev, we're shooting. I'm like, hold on. Should I answer the door?
I'm making an audio movie. It sounds like
it's the end of the 80s, beginning of the 90s.
It really sounds like you're on a bike. I think I can hear
the pedals.
Not bad. A lot of work. Today I earned my money.
As opposed to every other day when I stole it.
It's very seldom that we actually have to do labor there.
Where?
Only about once a month, once every 2 months maybe.
I think it might be Krauser's.
Yuck. Labor. Not my idea of a fashionable way to spend any evening.
Listen to me exercising.
I know.
I'm pedaling.
There's a recording.
And still talking. I can't stop talking. Even when I'm fucking like riding a bike and I'm by myself with nobody to talk to. I whip out a tape recorder and I narrate everything that's fucking going on.
Oh, look. An officer of the law pulling over a car. The beauty of a bike. So you can break as many traffic laws as you want. Just none of them apply to you.
Yeah. Oh, man. This is like
an officer of the law.
This is like a fucking a dude who thinks he's funny getting up on a stage and trying out fucking bits without having a sense of humor, I guess, really. The analogy's kind of falling apart, but it's like a dude getting up and going like, the beauty of a bike is you can ride through a red light. Nobody gives you a ticket. Am I right?
Come on.
Who's been there? People are like, none of us have that experience. It's not universal.
You don't need to say those things out loud.
Be more selective. Make jokes.
It's kind of brisk out.
Weather report.
It was a very unassuming day. Nothing fantastic happened.
See, just not content to just use small one-syllable words or ever got a fucking...
Could just be like, wasn't a, you know...
Yeah. It was trippendicular out today.
Put my comics in order.
Ooh, comics. Finally. I like this emo, Kev. We share some things in common.
Did I? Oh, I didn't. Oh, hiccups.
It's everything, dude. Literally, I narrate everything. I hiccup, and instead of just letting it happen, I go, hiccups.
What else would you do?
I didn't even put my comics in order. Put the rest of my room in order. Oh, and I ordered comics. That's what I did. Now, will I actually send for them?
God, could you imagine?
You literally sound like somebody who like loses their memory at the end of the day, and
I know it's
like
like
you want to replay it and be like,
I call this Kevmento. I have to retrace everything that I've done.
Did I put my comic books in order? Click.
You didn't. Click.
I suppose that's the big question.
Yeah,
what is the big question?
If anyone's asking him, it ain't this fucking mook.
It's a bargain for the books I'm getting, but
most 19-year-olds are out fucking or, making money, fucking. I'm riding at 10 speed up the highway talking about comic books to myself.
What comic book should I order?
Should I open the door to comics?
Should I fuck a comic pussy?
Comic pussy will never cheat on you. Heartbreak. I'm feeling a pain in my chest. Heartbreak. Moth. Car coming. Pedaling hard. Hurts. Wants sex. Hungry too. Wiener hurts a little. I'm gonna die one day. I'm like fucking Larry King. Just a series of thoughts with ellipses.
A lot of gas today. Whew, and they stink. Of course, out here you don't smell it. I'm surprised we didn't get complaints in the store.
I had a lot
of gas.
I'm talking about getting gassy, dude. I'm literally narrating like, I'm very farty.
Thankfully, outside, no one can smell your farts.
Indoors, a fart can be detected, but outdoors, a fart blends with the environment.
Farts are free.
McDonald's.
There it is.
Where?
A monument to all that is unhealthy.
Where's our McDonald's?
Ray Kroc, ladies and gentlemen. A man, a dream, a burger with mustard, ketchup, and a pickle. Into a multi-million-dollar empire. Rivaling perhaps Disney World, Disneyland.
Did you just tell the Ray Kroc story?
Affiliates.
A little bit, man. I was educated. It's so weird to me. I'm 19 years old in, let me see, 2 years, I see Slacker. And then in four years from this moment, well, shit. Clerks comes out October 94. This is October 89. 5 years later, this boring fat motherfucker who's just like, McDonald's is corporation like Disneyland, raping people for their money and giving them burgers with mustard. Like, I finally found some shit to say.
Talked to Laura once today.
Oh, here we go. Ever with Laura.
I received a card from her yesterday. Always the kiss of death. I was told that I was her best lover.
Ooh.
Which I had kind of hoped I was.
Oh! That kind of thing mattered a great deal because I was fat. So that's all I had going for me, because you're lucky you get a first bite of the apple, but the way, you get them coming back is if you know what you're doing.
For a good lover. I feel like
I did. Obviously I'm an individual that craves fucking praise. That's why I'm in the entertainment business. But before there was entertainment, before there was movies,
there was best lover.
That's award. All. That's it. That's all I could go for, man. What else was I ever going to have over my fellow man? Except I know how to eat pussy better than you. But that was a fucking liar's gambit, because anyone could learn to eat pussy better. Thing is, most cats just didn't care. I saw that fucking one day eating pussy was going to be important, Scott. I knew where the pussy was going. So I fucking got there ahead of time, my mouth open. I was like, nom, 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 nom. Now everyone eats pussy, Scott.
It's true.
But fucking 1989.
There's like 3 people.
Yeah,
and you were one of them.
Yeah. We were like astronauts.
One small lick
for a man. A lifetime of licking from mankind. Come on, boys, dive in. Who are you talking to? My tape recorder.
Some are challenging, some you could just tell. And with her list, I know it wouldn't take that much.
Well, apparently she didn't have many lovers and shit. This is before. What's weird is Brian Johnson winds up dating this girl after me.
Gotcha.
That will create a little bit of oddness in a friendship. Chasing Amy came from that very same mentality in terms of like, who'd you fuck before me? Like that kind of shit used to matter to me in a big bad way. It's so weird because now I could care less.
Yeah.
Now I'd be like, now if I was like still on the scene and shit, I mean, I'd definitely fucking give it the old college try. But if they were like, there are better lovers than you, I'd be like, I imagine, and thinner. But thank you for letting me come with you. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I'm done.
A very earnest, sincere thanks as I walked away. They'd have to reconsider me at that point. They'd have to be like, you know, he may not have been the best lover, but he was certainly the most courteous.
Yeah.
As he left.
He was polite.
Yeah. Kept it all to himself, too. Like, kept what to himself? It's cum. If it came.
He took it with him.
Yeah. He put it in a little bag.
A jar. I don't know. He came in a jar.
At first it was weird, but I'll be honest with you. It's kind of sweet.
Yeah,
I didn't have to sleep in a fucking wet spot and fucking wasn't running down my leg. And
I mean, it was a full jar.
I'm going to give that guy a call again now that I think about it. Oh, cum jar?
Cum jar Kev? It's cum jar Kev.
Cum jar Kev. She's like, I'm going to call old cum jar.
An action figure. It's cum jar Kev.
He's your booty pal when nobody's around and you don't have to tell people you fuck him. Cum jar Kev.
When you don't want to mess on your dress. Cum jar Kev. Keep it his cum.
Cum jar Kev is the action figure for every girl that doesn't want to know that you pay booty calls to a chubby boy. He'll take his cum away and no evidence will be left. No one will ever know the disgusting thing that you did. Cum jar Kev. A girl's best friend.
Cut to you fucking have to fucking open a closet. It's like fucking there's like a giant underground room.
It's like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, it's like 5,000 jars with names written on them.
Commercial goes from a jingle to like, Cum jar Kev. Like this commercial. Open one of the jars. Somebody opens the jar, gets their face melted off.
And I haven't even poured out my best yet.
Oh, you keep us on the hold him back.
I can't blow everything right up front, Scott. Apparently, I've got fucking plan B and C.
I was right.
Who was right?
Man, Mr. Paulo was right.
Mr. Paulo?
Me and Ed went over Terry's for her birthday.
Mrs. Paulo. Terry Paulo was a girl who lived in town. She was a grade or two below us. And apparently me and Ed Hapstack went over to Terry Paulo's house and had a conversation with her mom. Let's see what her mom said.
Oh, Ed and I did, and I really didn't even want to.
Ever fucking like, I'm not very interested in the social scene, man. I'd much rather be in my bat cave solving crimes. Highlands needs me.
But since Ed was driving, I obliged. And while we didn't...
I obliged. Did Ed a favor by hanging out with him. Ed, let me tell you, Ed did me the fucking favor. I was obviously, listen to me. Fucking nerd with nothing to say, man. Riding around on a bike talking about fucking, I haven't given him all yet. Ed at least had some edge to him and shit.
Yeah.
Like, let's do fun things and shit.
Schmoozed at any of the younger guys because they were all of a high school crowd.
Of a high school crowd. Oh, that sickens me the way he talks. I know, this is not awesome.
We did, however, talk at great lengths to Mr. and Mrs. Paulo. An interesting couple. Very interesting.
I'm 19. An interesting couple. Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Watson, I interrogated the Paulos and discovered that it was all very elementary.
I obliged Edward and went to the Paulos.
I cautioned them against opening the door.
Quirky, in the least.
They're quirky, dude. I like these Paulos, apparently.
Mr. Paul said something that was pretty much on the money. I disagree with it at first, but he was right. He said, we, meaning Ed and I, and not just Ed and I in particular, but our whole young gender, not even gender, our whole young generation, sorry. And not just our generation, but any generation that's at the point that we are now.
Which would be our generation. Emo Kev, not to be confused with Bright Kev. Stop clapping. Scott's like, this is delicious.
Like a 12-course meal of magic.
Like 25 below, I guess. Anyway, he said, we don't know how to have sex for fun yet.
Oh, this is
Mr. Paulo.
Mr. Paulo with quirky but true words.
Oh, Mr. Paulo. I'm intrigued.
This is the creepiest 19-year-old we've ever had come over the house.
Oh, you've had many.
Why are you talking to parents, you dick? Why don't you go try to fuck one of my gorgeous kids? Tell me your thoughts on marriage and sex, Mr. Paulo.
I will.
Don't mind if I record them. He's like, Terry, don't let that fat kid with the tape recorder come over anymore. He thinks he's Dale Cooper from Twin Peaks. Diane, in my hand, I hold a box of small chocolate bunnies.
No, I was insulted by that. In a mild fashion.
I probably threw down. I'm like, Laura says I'm the best. Fuck you, Mr. Paulo.
Fuck you, Mr. Paulo, the best.
And I haven't even pulled out my best moves.
Yeah, I got hidden shit.
Because who is Joe Paulo to know what kind of sex I have?
I want that on a bumper sticker. Who is Joe Paulo to say what kind of sex I have? People are like, is Joe Paulo a politician? I'm like, no, he's this motherfucker who back in 1989 cast aspersions
on me.
On how I
Laura's best lover.
How me and my generation or any generation
that's of the that generation. I love how you said 25 and under, where it's like, I don't think that a 2-year-old.
Yeah, I count everybody. I'm like, even infants don't know how to fuck, according to Joe Paulo. Do you hear this? Joe Paulo tells you your baby can't fuck.
Joe Paulo says your baby doesn't know how to fuck or enjoy it.
There's attack ads on television.
Joe Paulo.
Joe Paulo says your baby can't fuck.
Joe Paulo says your baby doesn't know yet how to enjoy fucking.
In a 2011 poll, 40% said that Joe Paulo can't tell them what their baby can and can't do.
Do you want Joe Paulo?
It's time for a change. It's time for Paulo to go.
I know.
All right, let me try again. Hold on, take 2.
Joe Paulo's feeding you stuff you can't swallow.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, if we could push it together a little bit more. It's more haunting. It's like The Kill List. You ever see The Kill List? Have you seen The Kill List?
No.
I'm not going to say anything more. Go see it. Go. You can rent it on VOD.
Okay.
Watch The Kill List. I can't say anything at the risk of, I just got to know what you think.
Okay.
I'm not even going to say it's fucked up, but it's fucked up. But you got to see. I don't want to like put any ideas in your head where suddenly you're like, well, I wasn't as fucked up as you said. It's pretty fucked up.
Kill List.
Kill List. British flick. All right, here we go. Back to Emo Kev.
But after careful consideration and a few throw-arounds with Ed talking about it.
After careful consideration and fucking Ed, we realized Mr. Paulo was right.
Because I didn't enjoy it.
Gay sex is just not as fun when you're young, under 25. Part of my generation, or any generation that's alive right now.
Any generation that's all right.
Any generation is part of our generation.
Right. I think there are exceptions. But on the whole, he's right.
Paulo's right. We got to do what he says.
You, policeman.
You're not fucking properly. So says Joe Paulo. What? You, little boy.
For example, the exception. You go out with somebody for a long time.
See, dude, this is the leitmotif of my life. I'm not a particularly talented man, not a particularly clever man. I'm always looking for the exception. I'm an American, which means I want in, but I want to be able to stand apart too. I want to be included, but I want to be special. You can hear it, like in everything I'm talking about, even long before I make films.
Yeah.
It's so fucking important to me. Why?
You go out with somebody for a long time.
Why does he want to be the exception? And it's not because he's exceptional, because I know this kid. And you now know him too by listening to him. Like prior to this, people could be like, oh, fucking, I like Clerks. So imagine he was fucking cool his whole life. Not at all. So as you listen to it, why does this kid think he's exceptional or the exception? I'm always holding myself out apart from, not necessarily above, but just like, I want to be able to get away with this.
Oh, where you're going like Joe Paulo.
He may
He's
be
an
right.
interesting guy.
No, yeah, Joe Paulo. Fuck, he's got my vote, but on this issue, we'll differ. No, I'm just like, I'll grant that he's right.
Except for, in my case,
I'm leaving myself like a little bit of an exception. And it's just, I mean, honestly, it's fed everything I've done. Feeling that way where I'm like, well, why not me? Or this is the exception. Or I know everybody does this, but this over here can be done too. It's weird for me to listen to it because even at a young age, it's there. Mm-hmm. It's me yearning to be something more than I was and not knowing what the fuck it is. So I'm rolling around with a tape recorder, yapping into this fucking tape, trying to figure it out. But I wouldn't figure it out for fucking years. 1989, at least almost 2 years.
Of course we could have fun when we're having sex because I knew her. I knew her inside and out.
Well, inside and out. Yeah, that was some sexy talk. You know what's really weird is like, think of me. When people say Kevin Smith, they're usually like, oh, he's talking about fucking and anal jokes and boobies and dick jokes.
You're really pretty G-rated.
You know what I'm saying? Like this Kev, Emo Kev plays on fucking 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
The Wonderful World of Disney is Emo Kev.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I knew what made her tick. So it could be fun. However, everyone else you go with at this age?
Go with. That's what we called it. If you fucked somebody.
You go with them.
Yeah, it wasn't just fucking if they blew you, if you fingered them, ate them, or fucking felt their boobs on a regular basis, more than one. Well, it was go with or went with in the past tense. Like last night I went with fucking Janet or something like that. And that meant that we fucked around.
Yeah. And
then there was going out with, you were boyfriend and girlfriend. Like,
yeah.
But go with.
It's just like.
Is sex. Is weird. It wasn't code. It was just the socially accepted term. Like, did you go with her? Yeah, I went with her. Like, nobody says it anymore. Like, I never say, Scott, you go with Alex? You're like,
yeah.
Fuck yeah, I went all over. I mean, it's just.
Fucking goed like crazy.
It's implied that since you're married, of course you go.
Yeah.
But it was this whole lexicon that now doesn't exist in my vocabulary because I don't have space to be like, did you go with her? Like, even when I talk to people who are like having first time experiences sexually or something like that, because they're
still wouldn't use
not
that
married,
terminology.
I would never say, did you go with her? I'd be like, did you fuck? Did you guys fuck? I don't even say, did you fuck her anymore? Cause I'm like, based on my own sex, I don't do any of the fucking. I get fucked. I make it more generic. Was there fucking involved or, something like that? But I would never, I want to try to reincorporate that.
Did you go with her?
I'm going to hit my wife up next and be like, you want to go? Let's go together.
Let's go.
Yeah, I want to go with
Let's
you.
go for it.
I want to go with you. Which sounds like, let's go to the bathroom together. She's like, I'm drawing the line there.
It's a contest. A test of will and strength. How virile are you?
This guy? Really? Not at all.
They make it sound like fucking Ben-Hur.
Fucking is like a chariot race. Particularly when Mazzolo wants to rip your wheels out.
It's true. I don't have fun when I go with somebody.
I don't have fun when I go with somebody. Why is that? Why?
Because you feel like because you're not relaxed because you're trying to be the best lover.
Is that right?
Yeah, you're putting pressure on yourself.
You're like my therapist. I could have used you. You're like, fuck, this is like Goodwill Hunting, man. Any minute you're going to be like, sorry, fuck, Kev. I'm like, not you, Scott. Not you. Is that what you got out of that? Let me hear.
Have to be going with them for a long time. I was always trying to prove myself. I couldn't relax.
See? You couldn't enjoy it because he was so busy.
Because you wanted that. You wanted to know that you were the best at it.
I wanted to make my mark.
Yes.
Leave a dent in the universe, as Steve Jobs
said. What was important?
Put a dent in her clit, as I used to say. Steve Jobs stole his thing from me. Yeah, apparently that was what mattered to me. And what it became, like, when I was 19 or whatever, having going with a pretty girl who's like out of my league and shit, who says like, oh, you're the best, you made me come, like, you know, which was easy. It was shooting fish in a fucking barrel back then because so many boys, it's not like it is now where fucking, you know, dudes can see porn and be like, oh, I should be eating pussy and shit like that.
Yeah.
It was just like fucking, if you were the one eating pussy, man, you were legendary and shit because nobody else was doing it. So for me, it was more about like, you know, getting a good review so that they would come back or fucking tell your friends.
I'm here.
Orgasms in my mouth. Tell your friends.
If I open the door.
Yeah, don't say it like that, you little pig. Yeah, if I open the door. I'm never going to like it because I'm so busy doing it for you.
I was a goddamn lick master from the Orient.
I refer to myself as a goddamn lick master from the Orient.
From the Orient?
Yeah, that was from a bit by Sam Kinison.
Yeah.
When he was talking about licking the alphabet.
Yeah.
He's like, lick her pussy, you know, lick the alphabet, you know, he's like, she'll think you're some sort of lick master from the Orient. You're down there going, hey, baby. Funny bit.
Just once. I like to sit back and have some fun sex. Let an orgasm happen. Instead of either forcing it or concentrating, or treating it like a job even. That's basically what it is, isn't it? It's a show-off event. Let's see.
That's how I see sex. As a show-off.
You're just showing off.
You need some help.
How talented Kevin is.
Ooh, talented. See, it's all about that. It's all about fucking being thought of as talented because I have to make up for the perceived deficit of being fat. Listen to me say it.
Let's see how talented Kevin is.
See? It's good motivator.
My negative side says that I'm not talented at all and all the girls are lying. Because just because a lot of people say one thing's right doesn't mean it's right. Right?
Well,
what do you think, Scott? He's asking you a question. He needs guidance. But to be fair,
it's your conundrum, which is basically that you want to be perceived as the best, but if they say you're the best, your negative side tells you that they're lying.
Yeah.
So you've created
I don't believe it. I don't want to. Yeah, I'm a looper.
It's a loop.
I mean, hell, if that was true, Lee Harvey Oswald did kill Kennedy.
What? How the fuck do I arrive at that conclusion?
I don't know. If girls lie about my pussy looking skills, then Lee Harvey Oswald did kill it.
And evil triumphs. Oh my God. I shot my wad and the president was shot. It's the same thing, Scott.
On his own. Hill time. Just keep my mind off.
Go, Kev, go.
Looks like Montclair.
I think I can.
I'm glad.
I think I can.
I didn't want to be that far. Well, actually, I want to be anywhere where I'm on my own. Well, like with Bri, though. But basically, out of the house.
Big Bri.
It's so funny. Basically, I want to be alone.
Well,
with Bri.
Except with Bri. Why won't they let me and Brian be alone? Oh, Brian, where can we go where we won't be harangued?
Where I can be alone with you.
Brian, I will open the door for you. That's a Big Bri Johnson, man.
Yeah.
Let me see. Montclair, we almost went to school there.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I would go live in Montclair 2-3 years after this. 4 years after this, ironically. Unrelated reasons. But here at this point, I'm talking about going to Montclair State.
Yeah.
With Bri.
Because once I make the move, I want to stay out.
Once I leave my house, I want to stay out. I don't want to come home. My brother and sister, when they left for college, they
never returned.
And I'm sitting there going, oh, I don't want to be the guy. It's like, I went to college and then I came home. Guess what? I became the guy who literally went to college and came home multiple times.
Like Don.
It all works out, kids. Like Don, what can I be? Like Don. I looked up to my brother. He was a cool dude. I still do. I still think my brother's really funny and really like fucking on the ball and stuff. But he was the very successful one always. Like he was the one who feed me money and shit. 'Cause he always had a job. Piece. Totally. And I was like the fucking idiot always between jobs or something like that. Still living at home. And they could never fathom that. My brother and sister were like, why are you still there? And I'm like, I don't know.
Because Brian Johnson won't move out with me.
Yeah, I was like, I just want to be alone with Brian. Why are you here? You answered the door. Can't believe I answered the door. You must not be Laura. Oh, Laura.
Virginia. I mean, I'm 20. I'm living at home.
I'm 20, I'm saying. But I can't be 19. It says, all right, so maybe it's October 1990, which would make me 20. All right, so it's 1990. This is even worse. Oh, God, dude. I was hoping this was like 15, 16-year-old Kev. I'm 20 years old. I'm within a fucking hair of being legal. And I'm still like, why can't I be alone with Brian? Why don't people understand?
Why are there hills?
It's not bad, but 5 years it'll be pitiful. So.
Hear the bike? I'm trying to picture the bike. I believe it was a Trek mountain bike.
Yeah.
5. Get out now while the getting's good. Got a lot of material things to bring with me. I can nicely furnish an apartment.
Why do I say like material things? Why can't I just say I got a lot of stuff to bring with me?
Because you were.
I'm showing off to myself with words now. Nobody's around to hear me. I'm like fucking Batman, the Dark Knight Rises. So that's what that feels like. When Catwoman fucking leaves, I'm literally just talking to myself.
Or at least have an apartment. Hold on. I'm back.
There's a pause there.
I got a lot of comics to bring with me. All of them.
I paused. It's still the same bike ride. I paused it apparently because I hit a part of the hill where I could no longer speak. That's too funny.
My entire library. Video cassettes, VCR.
Video cassettes, dude. My entire comic book library. I'm talking about what I could bring with me to furnish an apartment.
Yeah.
My material,
your material wealth.
Yeah, Scott. As I said before, my material things. And I've got comics and I've got VHSs.
Yeah.
And VCR.
A rack system.
Holy shit. Does anybody even call it a rack system anymore? No. They don't have rack systems anymore.
It's all on the cloud.
And it's all about fucking like keeping it small and plugging it into a dock or something. Rack system was like had a record player in it.
Yeah.
Dual cassette player. Later on they had the DVD player, not DVD, CD player and a tuner so you can go between each and shit. And it was in like a nice case with a little door that closed over. I bought one once for like $400. My parents were like, you're out of your mind. $400.
It's a rack system.
I was like, music's big and it's only gonna get bigger, old man. The next rack system.
I need material things. How will I furnish an apartment when Brian and I move out?
A bed. Did I mention rack system?
I'm literally.
Hell, I got a lot of stuff. A lot of good stuff.
Did I mention them?
There's two things I'm pretty proud about. Being the best lover and having a rack system. I'm so impressed by it. I'm fucking bragging to me.
Did I mention to myself?
Do you know that I have a rack system? Of course I do. I'm you.
Wait, but did I mention my rack system?
A lot of tapes. Decent film library. Twin Peaks. Degrassi Junior High and Degrassi High.
Oh, this is like whenever I'm on a stage talking about young Kev, pre-Clerks Kev.
Yeah.
That's there. And I talk about Degrassi and Junior High. This is me. I don't know in the library. I've taped all those episodes onto VHS. Same with Twin Peaks. I didn't have a box set. I taped all the episodes. So that's what I'm listing amongst my possessions is a bootlegged library that I built myself.
Three of the most exceptional programs ever broadcasted.
Three of the most exceptional programs
ever broadcasted.
See, dude, if I didn't make Clerks, I would have been one of those dudes who sits on the internet and fucking tells me that I'm a loser. That fucking your movies suck and shit like that. Like, that's why I've always found it easy to deal with that shit over the last 2 decades. Cause I'm like, I get it. Like, listen how frustrated this cat would be if he didn't get to channel it. He needed to be front and fucking center. He needed to be told, you're good, what you do is right, and blah, blah, blah. He needed all that fucking shit. If he didn't get it, what a miserable little cunt he would have been to live with. Oh my God.
Ongoing too. Gotta love it. Not to mention films that I have. All of them. And of course, the Bullwinkle tapes and the Underdog tapes.
Of course, because when you got a library of Bullwinkle and Underdog tapes, pussy will follow.
I got a lot to offer.
It's like you just fucking listed a dowry.
I got a lot to offer. I don't know if you heard, but Bullwinkle and Underdog tapes.
And a rack system.
Not to mention.
The rack system.
I got a lot to offer. See, this is a dude who's clearly talking himself up. Clearly I didn't feel like idle. Or maybe I did. And maybe I just needed to say it out loud because nobody else would.
I know, it's obviously like, no, you don't.
Now you jump on Twitter and people are like, Kev, you got a lot to offer. So I don't have to say it to myself.
I got a lot to offer, girl.
Here I am.
The one that you love with so many VHS tapes.
I've got a rack system, the one that you love. And here I am, oh, here I am.
Over here.
I think I'll be able to be fun again one day. Really carefree. I'm just in that responsible position right now.
I live at home. I just want to point out the king of responsibility is biking, Scott, not driving a car.
Yeah.
Biking home, and his home is not an apartment of his own or a house with a mortgage.
No.
Keep a roof over his kid's head.
You're living with your mom and dad.
Totally. But he's fucking responsible.
And you're waiting for the days when things will be carefree again.
Oh my God. Just recently, dude, I saw.
Someday I'll be carefree Kev again. Emo Kev will be carefree Kev.
I remember being carefree when I was 6. First grade was free of all care, but it wasn't in second grade where people started disappointing me. I stopped opening the door. It is, my kid this week was looking at pictures of her younger self, and she's 13.
Yeah.
And I'm very, she's got a big heart, the kid. She's looking at pictures of herself, and she, I wasn't there, which I was in the other room. When I came back to the room, Jen was like, "Oh, you and that fucking daughter of yours." And I was like, "What?" She's like, "You're both so fucking emo, it's sickening." And she didn't even hear this shit. Jennifer hasn't even heard any of the emo stuff. So, and I was like, "Why?" And she's going, "Because she's looking at these pictures of herself going like, I was happier then." And I'm like, "What pictures are they?" She's like, "She was like 1.5, 2, like she's sitting on the ground next to chickens on a farm. There's one where she's sitting next to Snoopy." And you're like, yeah, everyone's happier when they're a baby.
There's no emo babies.
No, I want to play this for the kid. I want to be like, "Kid, and I tell her all the time, anytime like there's something she's like emotionally trying to get over a hurdle, because she's kind of like me. She feels everything so fucking deeply. I'm always trying to remind her. I was like, there was a time when I would like ride around on a bike and tape record my thoughts out loud, like all emo-licious and shit. You could put music under it and shit, and it would have been like an MCR song." And she was like, "How old were you?" And I was like, I didn't want to say 20. So I was like, 15.
I was just like you when I was 20.
I know, man. I should tell her that. I was like, "Look, I know it's tough to go through some things and feel the way you're feeling, but let me just tell you this."
There's a tape recorder.
That's how you deal with it. I just quietly slide a tape recorder at her across the desk. "What's this?"
Therapy.
The cheapest therapy and the best friend an emo kid will ever have.
It's to entertain people later.
You'll want this. Future Harley wants this. All right, let's dive back in, man. Let's hear what emo kid.
A secure position.
He's in a secure position.
I got the job.
He's gonna list it for you, man. He's gonna leave it to emo Kev. He doesn't leave anything up to the imagination.
He's amazing at lists.
He's a list maker, man. He's fucking a modern day Schindler.
Emo Kev's list.
The list is live. Well,
I'm shit in my room.
The list is light.
I gotta be honest.
I don't have a lot of shit, man. Or thoughts or opinions. Friends either, apparently. But I got lots of micro cassettes, bitch, and a packet of batteries. Here we go.
So, I'm doing that every day. And security and responsibility. Changing of the gears.
Narrating once again. This is a thing that emo Kev loves.
The changing of the gears.
So perhaps I am working for an audience, because who would I be? Am I telling myself these things? Like, I must think someday someone's going to hear these things, because I'm describing noises that I don't need to. If this was just for me, why would I tell myself fucking,
changing of the gears?
Totally. So I must think somewhere that someone's going to hear this. That's how fucking self-important I always was, Scott, that I was like, someone's going to want these. These should be in a museum. I was young Indiana Jones, man. About myself, though. I was like, I've discovered artifacts from my own past.
Aren't they amazing?
But admittedly, they are kind of amazing. But it's so weird, man. Like, there's this sense of one day this will matter, as if a fucking bike ride home from work matters. Think about how often in your life, even now, you drive to and from fucking work. All your thoughts laid out like on a fucking tape recorder. Like, who thinks that's important? But this kid was just like, and again, the fact that he's throwing these sops to the audience with like, you hear that? Yeah. That's the bike changing gears, kids. He thinks someone's going to hear it.
But don't you also, I mean,
he was right.
You're writing like in a weird way.
Do you think he knew that we'd be fucking ridiculing him though? You think he was like, these are important. People need to hear these deep thoughts. And fucking 20 years on, we're like, what an idiot. Yeah. What a dickhole.
I mean, people keep tweeting. They're just like, people feel bad for him.
They do. I've seen a lot of people go like, thank you for doing this because I am emo Kev. People like feel the same way. I've heard from a lot of young people on Twitter who are just like, oh my God, I do this now. It's nice to know that things work out. I was like, well, that's debatable. But I mean, I wonder if 20 years from now, I'll go back, or how many years was what did I say? 1990. So 22 years from now.
Yeah.
I'll go back and listen to Smodcast and be like,
oh my God,
what a little dickhole. What a middle-aged dickhole this guy is. What do you mean you quit the movie business? Oh, that's where shit went wrong. I was wondering why we wound up here in abject poverty, hated by all. Now I remember I was going where the puck was going to be.
Fucking Gretzky.
Okay, back at emo Kev. Nothing will stop me.
I found myself remembering
except a hill.
A mind game that I played with Kim.
Ooh.
A long time ago.
Ooh. Keep playing those mind games, emo Kev.
When I was putting up the candy, I thought about it for some odd reason.
Putting up the candy.
Thinking about mind games.
The one where she said something perfectly meaningless about Andy,
Carlstrom, I bet.
God, see how meaningless it was? I can't remember his name.
Oh my God. Emo Kev don't remember his name.
And you do.
Fucking 42-year-old Kev does. If I'm not talking about Kim was my high school girlfriend. When we were in high school, dude,
yeah,
she wound up going with, as we described the term last week, fooling around with, Andy Carlstrom, before we even dated, on a lawn next to her house. So if I could guess, I haven't listened to this, but if I could guess, he's about to tell a story about a mind game. Kim said something meaningless about Andy Carlstrom. And then I probably emoed out. I got like Holden in the ice rink, probably, if I'm guessing ahead of time. Cause there's a reason that scene is in Chasing Amy.
Yeah.
I was so that fucking dude, but I just most of my life, I didn't do that with someone who was clever enough to just turn around and be like, I fucking fucked him. Yeah. Like,
asshole.
Yeah, that fucking shuts that shit down quick. You're like, oh, well, I guess my
yes, my mind game
has blown my mind. Didn't see that coming. Wow, this hurts. This really hurts. Why'd you fuck up?
Where's my tape recorder?
This isn't fair. I was playing the mind game.
Andy Carlstrom, that's it.
He remembered. It was just he was working out a little too hard there. You could tell.
No. Oxygen.
Anti-oxygen. We found this fat boy passed out by the side of the road calling out for anti-oxygen.
He wrote Carlstrom in the dirt.
Does that mean anything to anybody? Oh, painful. Here we go.
I blew it out of proportion as per usual.
Uh-huh.
Just to see how much she loved me.
Oh, see,
that's the mind game.
There's the mind game right there. I wanted to see if she essentially. Well, we'll hear. I mean, fuck it. I'm not gonna tell a story. Let me hear what happens.
I went to her house, took down everything in the Kevin shrine off her wall.
Oh, come on, dude. That's emo.
Was she there?
Delicious. No.
So you literally went to her house. She said something meaningless.
She said something about Andy Carlstrom that hurt my feelings. About a dude that she fooled around with on the lawn, her next door neighbor's lawn, when we weren't even fucking involved with one another.
Yeah. Who put the shrine up?
Kim would, like I'd write notes or draw cartoons and shit like that. I was very fucking creative. I could publish books, volumes. I couldn't, she could, because she has it all, of the shit that I gave her in high school. Like I was constantly drawing. I was very good at drawing Bullwinkle and the world of Bullwinkle, and very good at drawing Bloom County and the world of Bloom County. So I would just in class, I wouldn't fucking pay attention. I would just draw comic strips and basically like multi-panel adventures, or one splash page with a lot of fucking word balloons or fucking text with arrows and shit like that. Always related to, our lives or situation or something. So I'd, leave them in her locker, and then, after class, fucking boom, she'd have them. So she had, like, I'm not even kidding, buckets of this shit. She saved everything.
Yeah.
So, and she still has it, unless she's like, I got rid of that shit years ago. But last I heard, she still has it. The amount of notes that I gave her and drawings that I gave her, she would put on the wall, and pictures of us going to places and stuff like that. The same shit you look at the wall of any fucking high school. Like, I look at my daughter's wall now. And the same wall that she has for Gerard Way was the wall that Kim had for me. So, I think that's kind of important in high school. Be somebody's fucking like, you fucking rock and shit like that. And the same was at my house as well. I had a fucking Kim shrine up on my wall. But apparently she said something about Andy Karlstrom. I got fucking tight about it. And I went back to her house when she wasn't there and dismantled
the Kev shrine.
Let's hear. That's what it sounds like.
And wrote Kim loves Andy, and put that on the wall in place of it, and left the yearbook open to his picture.
Come on, dude. What a little bitch. Other dudes were out like playing basketball or fucking baseball or being athletic. I'm biking around to my girlfriend's house, sneaking in when nobody's around, and fucking like acting like
you love Andy.
Well, I'm acting like Saw, dude. I'm literally like fucking making traps with misleading notes. And like, could you imagine you come home and fucking like your shit's been changed in a fucking yearbook? That's creepy, man. Like, you put a score under that, like, yeah. We're fucking,
it's the beginning of something.
Maybe not that score, but if you put something in there, something like Carrie, like, that's something out of Swim Fan. Do you ever see Swim Fan?
Yeah.
That's fucking,
it's a mind game.
I'm playing these mind games, Scott.
You are, dude.
This is fucking, See, and that's now when people are like, leave Emo Kev alone. Emo Kev is indefensible. Listen to how villainous Emo Kev went. Before it was like, it's innocuous. He has, thinks he doesn't know whether to open the door or not. Fucking, he's Now
he's lovable.
He was a little bit lovable, but now you see the Emo Kev has a dark side.
Dark Emo Kev.
An evil twin, if you will. Evil
Kev. It's amazing, literally, that you went in there and you were like, what'd you write? You love Andy?
I wrote Kim loves Andy, I guess. But worse, dude, I opened up the yearbook to like his page. Picture. Like, do you remember the scene in like one of the Friday the 13th where the chick walks into the room and she starts screeching because there's a head in the fucking middle of the table and shit? I think it's 2. Yes, it's 2. At the end of Friday the 13th part 2, the chick finds a shrine made to Mrs. Voorhees. Because spoilers, if you've never seen Friday the 13th, Jason is not the killer. His mom's the killer. It's like one of those awesome bar fucking or trivia jokes or things where you're just like, who's the killer on Friday the 13th? And people like instinctively go, oh, Jason Voorhees or Jason or the hockey mask killer. But that's not the case. No. And really the killer was Mrs. Voorhees. So at the end of 1, she gets her head fucking chopped off. In 2, Jason, the adult Jason, who somehow survived the fucking lake drowning that made his mother so fucking crazy she wanted to kill all these camp counselors. That's where the franchise immediately shifted into like, larger than life movie monster. It went from like, man, this is pretty sad. This woman lost her kid because these kids were presumably fucking. So she just wants a little fucking justice, a little blood. But then it became like, he's an unstoppable monster. You're in a hockey mask. You can cut his head off and you can't stop him. And he'll even go to fucking space to kill you if he's got it. Or Manhattan. He became a little bit bigger. But at the end of 2, the chick who's the lone survivor, the blonde haired chick, or maybe she red hair. I'm pretty sure she's blonde. She stumbles into this fucking, like, the dude's got a shrine and his mom's head's on, like, this fucking, you know, altar of sorts and shit. And then he comes in, he ain't wearing no hockey mask. He's wearing a bag on his head, like a fucking burlap sack.
Yeah.
Looking through an eye hole. So he starts making toward her and shit, but then she puts on the mother's sweater. And she starts going like, Jason, and talking to him, and he stops and reacts like a fucking dog. If I remember, I haven't seen this movie literally in 30 years, or whenever it came out. So maybe like 25. I haven't seen this movie in 25 years, but it made such an impact, man, because I was like, if I'm ever getting fucking stalked by a killer and shit,
put a shawl on. I'm
totally putting a shawl on. I'm a bitch out and just be like, leave me alone. I'm an old woman. And hopefully I'll go walk past him. I'll totally Magoo that shit, man. Anything to stay alive. But it was, it's totally memorable. She puts on the fucking sweater and she starts barking at him like Jason. And then they cut to the woman who played his mother. For Jason's POV, he's seeing it switch between this chick and his mom.
See his perception.
Who played his mom in the first movie and shit. So, you know, and then he's all fucked up. And then she uses that to get the drop on him and fucking kicks him in the nuts or something. I don't remember what happened after that, but he loses, kind of. But he never loses because he always fucking comes back. But that was the next movie is when he started wearing a hockey mask, 3.
Yeah.
That's how many of those movies they made.
3D.
That it took fucking 3 movies before they were like, the hockey mask, the thing that he's most known for, probably.
Before they made him iconic.
So strange. In any event, if she walks into her bedroom and sees the open yearbook and the fucking writing on the wall, dude. I mean, all I needed to do was leave a candle and a dead kitten and fucking, it would have been the creepiest thing ever. I'm not happy with Emo Kev right now. I'm a little ashamed.
Then I waited. Hidden.
He lied in wait, dude. I mean, this is Emo Kev is evil Kev.
Where are you waiting?
I bet you I'm waiting in her parents' room. Let me see if he tells us.
She came home and heard her reaction.
Oh, dude, I literally stuck around to hear the reaction. I'm like a supervillain. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not enough to put everything together. I want to see it fucking fall into place. I'm Loki in the Avengers. When fucking Thor is just like, no, man. He likes being seen. He likes people seeing him up front and center. He's got to be ostentatious. Needs an audience and shit like that. Not only do I fucking punish this girl simply for like mentioning the dude that she went with prior to me. Didn't even like cheat on me with, but just went with prior to me. I've got to like,
you want to witness her suffering.
Yeah. Or at least hear it from the other room, which is just as creepy. Why
did I do stuff like that?
I'm with you, Emo Kev. Well, see.
Well, at least you're.
Well, perhaps maybe Emo Kev came from Evil Kev. Like Evil Kev existed first.
Where you did it without thinking.
Cause that I did in high school. I didn't do this when I was fucking 20. I remember
this didn't just happen. Emo Kev is
reflecting back to something I did in high school. And Emo Kev in high school apparently was Evil Kev, who would fucking write on walls. And
do you remember doing it and feeling bad about it? Or when you actually did it, were you just like,
well, the reaction I wanted was I wanted her to be upset. And then she got upset. And, you know, I was like, yay, she loves me. That's sick. Like you read about those cases. Like I just read about a case where some chick was, there was a guy, he's like, I haven't felt right in a few years. And he went into the doctor and he tried a bunch of doctors. They couldn't figure shit out. One was looking at his blood and he goes, you got a lot of, I don't know how to pronounce it, the tetracycle or whatever, a lot of Visine in his blood. And then they traced it back to his girlfriend who was like, yeah, I was putting Visine in his water because I wanted her to pay more attention to me. And her idea, I guess, was if he was sick, she would have to take care of him. And so hence he'd be paying more attention to her, less going out or something. Okay. Now I judged that the other day. I was like, this fucking sick twist. Now all of a sudden I'm listening to fucking
I'm the Visine girl.
I am literally, dude. I'm sitting there going like, I want her to care more, you know? And it's not even like she stopped caring.
Yeah.
Like she left me or something. Like she mentioned Andy Karlstrom and I was like, you'll pay for that fucking reference.
Well, it tweaks your insecurity and then basically
big time. And Andy Karlstrom was like, in shape and shit like that too. I was still a fat kid. He was a good guy too, Andy Karlstrom. I liked him until I started dating Kim, and then I was just like, you went with Kim on the lawn.
You, Andy. Was it hot?
Tell me about it.
Come here, Andy. I'm going to jerk off on you.
Liquor's quicker, but Andy's dandy. Tell me the story.
Where are you going? Why are you running away?
Why did I punish that girl for so long?
Yeah, see, I'm coming to...
You're feeling bad.
I'm growing. This is the beginning of present-day Kev.
Yeah.
20-year-old emo Kev is reflecting back on his high school shenanigans. And look, creepy and inexcusable, but not pretty lame and tame also at the same time. It's not like I beat my high school girlfriend, man, or I fucking I cut myself or I cut for her, even fucking worse because you don't care.
Yeah.
I'm acting out a little, but unchecked. Who knows what that might have become? I could have become Tom fucking Cruise in Endless Love. Remember, like in that movie, he's like, I lit a fire at this house and then fucking, it got out of control. And then I told people about it and everyone called me the hero, but nobody realized I set the fire. And so the guy who loves Brooke Shields in Endless Love, he takes that idea from young Tom Cruise, who plays his buddy in the movie. And then he lights Brooke Shields' house on fire. But then fucking it don't go well. I think if I remember correctly, somebody dies. At the end of that movie, he winds up like in a fucking going to jail or an insane asylum or something. It was like this movie that was fucking huge when we were kids.
Yeah.
Like 1980, 81 or something. Endless Love. Brooke Shields had been in the Blue Lagoon, which was like this borderline fucking kiddie porn movie where they, two kids, Christopher Atkins and Brooke Shields, are alone on an island discovering puberty in each other and they fuck and there's booby shots, but they were like, it ain't her, but it was just
they have a baby.
And they have a baby together too. It's a shipwreck story, but it's also a shipwreck story about like two teens who fucking wind up like doing it.
Oh, they do.
And it was sold to adults. Like it wasn't sold to kids. It was rated R. And shit.
Yeah.
So she was in that. And then she was in this movie, Endless Love, Brooke Shields. And I forget the other dude's name. I forget.
I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, it's a movie about high school fucking, intense high school romance gone too far. It's a pretty good movie. I haven't seen it in a while, so maybe it doesn't hold up. But I remember seeing it when I was a kid and being like, holy shit, man. Like it was kind of a cautionary film. And I'm sure like when people make movies, they're making them because they want to make money. But sometimes they're like, this has an important message.
Yeah.
That message fucking worked on me because I was like, this guy's fucking weird, man. The dude who's like, I'll light a fire to make her love me. So at least maybe Endless Love kept fucking evil Kev
from burning down the house.
You know what I'm saying? From just keeping it to like, here, man, here's Andy Karlstrom's yearbook photo, which admittedly is fucking weird and creepy in and of itself. But perhaps seeing Endless Love kept things from going crazy far. Cause when you're in love in high school, man, that's crazy love, dude. You don't know how to handle your emotions. You don't know what the fuck you're going through. You don't have scar tissue, formative tissue to be like, oh, fucking she didn't call me. That happens. Fucking it doesn't mean the end of the world. You're reading meaning into everything. You're thinking about
the whole world.
Oh, everything and shit. So, it's a weird time, but it's a time where you gotta be careful with emo time bombs, such as myself, as we can hear. But I'm so happy to hear that emo Kev
is reflecting back and not being like,
yeah, I should do more of that.
Yeah. Set fire to the house.
Call the fire department. Take credit. Happily ever after. For a generation. For any generation. Living at the same time. But he doesn't know how to deal with, like, honestly, his fucking high school girlfriend is the biggest thing that ever happened to him. And his whole life, all he thought about from a young age, his whole high school career or whatever, he wasn't thinking about, I want to be a filmmaker. I want to do these things. I wouldn't even think about going to college. I was just thinking like me and Kim will get married, man. That would rock. So having a Kimless present or the thoughts of a Kimless future obviously still weigh heavily on emo Kev's mind and soul.
You're trying to find yourself.
Yeah, a little bit. I guess. Searching. It's what's really.
Why else? Like to me, it's like that's part of the reason that you must have been doing it. It's like
to grow.
You're in this. You're obviously at this place in your life where it's like you're trying to find your way. You're trying to. You have to.
It's amazing.
You're thinking back. You're thinking about like you're literally reflecting on things you've done. You're talking about. It's literally past. Like if you listen to it, it's like there's past, present, and future. It's like you're talking about what you're gonna do. Like you're talking about what you're doing and the items that you own.
and literally like what's happening that second. Like I'm changing gears.
Yeah. And then now you're sort of reflecting on the past.
I'm like the Cloud Atlas, the Wachowski brothers movie. I'm trying to tell a story all across the fucking past, present, and future. I'm biking now. I was bad to Kim then. In the future, I'll be this. and Tom Hanks will play me all 3 times. That movie looks fucking tight, dude. I want to see that movie. Not this movie, though.
I figure that's part of my youth, and I gotta let it go.
There you go, right?
You're trying to find your way, dude.
It's like therapy.
On a creaky little bike.
I'm like my own therapist, kind of.
Trying to find my way.
My theme song. Emo cab, trying to find my way. Biking the live long day, growing up hard in the streets of Jersey, coming to emotional truths.
It's funny, this year I haven't undergone any theatrical changes like I had last year.
It's because you're recording one as we speak. It's happening to you right now. The call's coming from inside the house, Emo Kev.
The Batman phase. All the other changes.
I've talked about fucking...
Literally even back then. How many minutes are we in?
18. I talked about
Batman.
There was the Batman phase, which began probably in late 88, we're still in it. But remember I talked about like being on the roof of the fucking Rite Aid and shit. I've told this story elsewhere. I put it in a comic. But there was that, and I told it on Comic Book Men as well. I think in one of the in-between interstitials, but so in a Batman would ride around, wear like the Bat insignia t-shirt, dark clothes, shit, had a long leather jacket, like the kind I wore in Mallrats Asylum. Yeah. And, I would go out at night and shit. Like my mom, you know, God bless her, was very patient with the whole thing. Cause I was just like, I'm going to go out riding, Mom. She's like, where are you going? I was like, just riding. Like, you know, oh God. And that was prior to this.
You won't understand, Mom.
Yeah. Justice, Mom. She's like, for who?
Do you understand
She's
justice?
Like, how about justice for a mother who just wants a normal son? Why don't you go get a job?
That I proclaimed. Now I'm just living, you know?
JK living, bitch. I get older, they stay the same age. Yes, they do. What's weird is he ain't living.
I'm just living.
This ain't living at all, you fucking idiot.
I'm just doing it day to day.
Keeping my head above water, making a wave if we can, temporary biking, good time. Emo Kev ain't liking good time. Bad times.
Scratching heads
Not opening the door up. Bad time.
tearing down the shrine.
Ain't we lucky we got him? Boom, 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 boom. Get him out of here. He's a Buzz Archer.
Nothing special about me. I wouldn't even call her. She hadn't called me.
Mm-hmm. I remember she did.
It was all her doing.
It's her fault.
Oh, yeah, hell, I agreed to it, but...
All right. I was a little complicit.
So quick to like go back on your declaration. You're just like, she called me. Yeah. What am I supposed to do?
It's her fucking fault. I mean, yeah.
I answered.
I answered the door that time. She even know Laura, man. When she came, I answered the door plenty quick.
Biggest mistake I made.
Was fucking picking up a tape recorder. You dumb bastard.
Was when she called, I should have said, no. She should have, when she said, can I come see you? I shouldn't have said, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Epic tale. Definitely.
Hanging on his every word.
Definitely retold.
I should have said, yeah, sure.
A modern day Samuel Clemens.
Yes, I shouldn't have said that.
It's like as if we're not hearing the other voices. Like, you shouldn't have said that, and I'm responding, yes, I should.
Yes, I should.
He's crazy. This kid might be crazy, dude.
Nah.
Yes,
He's magic.
Crazy and
He's
magic.
my Harry Potter. The boy who barely lived.
The biggest waste of a Horcrux of all time. Where is the last Horcrux? You'll never believe this one.
It's rack system. It's gotta be.
It's biking around New Jersey, pitching up a storm.
And after all that, I didn't even get a birthday gift out of Kim. You know? I'm not worried about the gift, but
Constantly going back.
He's so conflicted. He's like, I'm so mad about the birthday present. And then in the same breath, he's like, but shit happens. I'm so understanding, dude. Maybe I never would have become a psycho because I'm always second guessing myself.
Literally, the moment something crazy leaves your lips, you're like, it's fine.
Yeah, man. It's like I literally have to narrate my entire life to myself. Well, I guess since the tape recorder's running, maybe I'm just like, look, what am I going to do? Be quiet and just tape myself biking?
It's the need to fill the void. That's like why it's so awesome, where it's like you're just basically
stream of consciousness.
Yeah, you just keep going. That's why, like, you say something and you're like, fucking tell, and you're like, it's fine.
Because that's what would be going on in my head internally.
Well, as you're retelling the story, your brain is re-engaging all these mental images.
Right.
So you're sort of re-experiencing it through your sort of the movie version that our memories aren't, absolute. They're just sort of like our perception. So you're having this you're looking back on it, and I'm sure in that moment, it's like, the thing that popped in your head is just like, you remember that she didn't give you a birthday gift.
Yeah, as I'm firing along, I'm like, she's pretty cool, man. Why can't we make this work? I'm like, hey, it occurs to me. I didn't get a birthday gift. But that's okay. I don't want a birthday gift. I sound like fucking Smeagol wants a birthday gift. Smeagol won't ask for a birthday gift, master. There's two of me in there, man.
Yeah.
And Emo Kev is fighting to dominate and grow up into, I can't say adult Kev, but
Bruce Wayne.
Yes. I don't know what I'm trying to be, but I apparently don't want to be that anymore.
No.
Why did I go back with her?
I don't even know what that is. Like, in terms of what that.
I think you had this sort of version of your future that you were. This is a guess. You had this version of your future, right? Which was that you were going to get married and be with Kim and stuff like that.
Right.
Suddenly it's like, now you're in this space where it's like, that's no longer
possible.
That's no longer possible.
So I'm trying to reinvent or rewrite my future?
You're trying to.
And present?
Yeah, you're trying to find your way. You're trying to find your way. You're trying to find a path.
Yeah.
You're trying to find, like.
Trying to find a fucking stop button on the tape recorder. Not working.
Maybe it's what you wish. But I assume what you're trying to do is you're basically, this is the period of your life where you're searching for something. And then suddenly becoming a filmmaker becomes
filled that void.
Yeah, it becomes like the path, the thing to do, and you leap on it. But at this point, you're like, you thought it was all.
I did.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but you thought you were done. You
with
thought
life?
That you had you basically were like, this is my future.
Yeah, I figure at 20 I peaked because I'm driving around talking about shit happening in high school, going like, remember the good times. Like I could see now. Driving around at age 42 and being like, man, when we made fucking Chasing Amy, remember that or something like that? Like we did big things and there were fucking epic memories about them. I'm biking around talking about shit happened like 4 years ago, and it wasn't even that interesting then.
But you're also coming from the place of when you're in high school, like you're very, how you see the future is based in the present. So you're like, basically probably were just like, you probably thought life, and we all do, is like, we just think life is going to be like high school.
It is.
This
business particularly is very much like high school.
But your idea of it, and then like, obviously you've gone through this transformation where what you saw as being your future is dismantled. And now you're basically going like,
I'm crawling from the wreckage.
20 years old. I'm living with my parents' house. But I mean, I got a rack system and some tapes. And what the fuck am I going to do?
Totally. I was taking stock of my life so I can move on to the next step.
And you don't want to, and what you're saying too is you're like, I don't want to go back. Like, now that it's like that thing that was the future or what I thought it was going to be, like, I can't return to that because that's not it. That is not that's not where I need to go. I don't need to go backwards. I need to go forwards.
I wonder what I would have done if I didn't fill it with film.
I don't know.
I would have still been biking around going like running to Kim's house and moving shit around. She's like, this house is haunted. Did I ever tell you that? I'm like, what makes you think that? She's
That's
like,
weird.
I come home, shit's written on the wall, books are open. I was like, yeah, but I'm sure to specific
Did it upset you?
Pages. Yeah, I mean,
this ghost has to have
did any of this make you want to be a better girlfriend? No? Why? I'm just asking.
I don't know.
I mean, sometimes, you hope a specter is a helpful ghost.
Like Casper.
Or at least friendly, but this one sounds like a real prick, I guess. Oh, man.
Why'd I agree? Well, I know why.
I gotta tell you. Nobody asked, kid. I gotta tell you, though, it's what adds to it is the fucking, like,
just the straining.
And also, it's
and the cars going by.
If you don't know what's going on, you're like, boy, when this motherfucker puts on his thinking cap,
he gets winded.
He sweats it out. This poor son of a bitch. He's doing big thinking like Einstein. You think Einstein breathed heavily when he was coming up with E equals MC squared? But then you realize he's on a bike and you're like, oh, he's trying to do too many things at once. And he's not a master at any of them. That's the problem.
But why?
Why?
Why is it that
Oh, that's amazing. Kev, that's why.
I feel for her, why?
Why? Why ask why? Bud dry.
Why?
I wanted to be a pitchman.
Is it because I spent so much time with her? Is that it? Time element? If that's the case, I'll spend time with someone else. Somehow I don't think that's the case.
He needs no therapist.
Love.
He's his own therapist, dude.
Yeah. You're therapist and patient at the same time.
Yeah. And a physician, heal thyself.
Spend time with someone else.
Listen, I'm working it out.
Somehow I don't think that's the case.
No, ain't gonna work.
Love.
It had to happen. Love.
24 karat case of love.
Holy shit, dude. If anyone has a 24 karat case of love, it's you for this. Oh, this poor fucking kid, dude.
24 karat.
Oh, let's hear it again.
Love. That's the case. 24 karat case of love.
The new hard-nosed detective drama in the Kevin Smith detective series, a 24-karat case of love. She was a beautiful dame who walked into my life and dropped a 24-karat case of love on my desk. Public School Hill puts me about, like, I'm almost home. I'm in Highlands at this point.
Yeah.
There's not much further to go, man. It's 24-karat case of almost being home, Scott.
So awesome.
Good. This is what going up the hill is for. Go down the other side.
And now,
Big thoughts with America's great thinker, Emo Kev. This is what going up the hill is for. Coming down the other side. Homespun wisdom from America's favorite prophet.
Public school. Park. Me, Kim.
Can't get away.
Pronunciation of love.
I can't get away.
Pronunciation of love.
Hold on, man. I don't even know what he's talking about.
Me, Kim. Long discussion. Pronunciation of love.
Oh.
Enunciation of love.
Correcting
Proclamation
myself.
of love. There we go.
Ever rewriting.
Yeah.
Ever looking for the perfect term. I have a vague.
probably should have rewrote 24 karat. That's why you said
Fuck you. That's genius. That's going to be the name of my fucking next book. A 24-karat case of love. The Kev Smith story. I have vague recollections. I mean, I'm pretty familiar with all the details of my relationship with Kim. But I haven't thought about this in eons. And now I have a vague recollection of her and I sitting at the park at public school early in our relationship.
Kim.
Yeah.
Swing.
Love.
Air.
Expressed.
Water. Blood.
Boner. Suppressed. Moved. Replaced. Yeah. No. Throbbing. That's the word.
On the bench. Spent the whole summer apart. Only to have it revealed then.
That she was a dude.
It's like me, Kim, her dick.
Confusion. Curiosity. Taste. Horrifying. Oddly compelling. Cocked. Transgender relationship.
Affirmed.
I'm dating a dude.
But I guess that's why you go up a hill. So you
can come in a guy's mouth. This guy can rationalize anything.
Wondering why. I don't even know what she was wondering why. See, that's the thing with Kim. I don't know what she's on her mind. I know what's on my mind. I don't know what's on her mind.
Everyone knows what's on your mind, dude.
Yeah.
You fucking record every detail of what you're thinking and what's on your so-called mind. Like, as an adult, like, if some fucking teenage boy came into my house, went into my daughter's room and fucking wrote shit on the wall. Well, I didn't, I think I just hung up something written on a piece of paper. Just whatever. I mean, that's unsettling. I'd be like, dude, you're not allowed to come over here anymore. Like, you're like that boy in Endless Love.
But when you
like, maybe I'm like you, Emo Kev. I'm like, hey, shush.
I listened to the Smodcast.
I was 22 years old.
I got a 24 karat case of love.
I'm like, oh, hoisted on my own retarded petard. All right. Jen's just like, get him out of here. I was like, I can't.
I created him. He's my emo monster.
If I'm Venom, he's Carnage. Don't you get it? She's like, I don't know what any of this means.
Once again, you framed this conversation as something I can't, nor do I give a shit about.
I'm even more disturbed now. Aren't they both villains?
You can't even stick with Batman.
Yeah. Okay.
Who knows? Not me.
That much has been made clear. But you're trying, Emo Kev, and that's the important thing.
Yeah.
Emo Kev would be so irritated if he knew that we were like, you're trying, that's the important thing. Because he thinks he's there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He thinks he's me. That's what fucks me up in the head. Because that means in 20 years, I could be listening to all this Smodcast shit and be like, he thinks he's me. Yeah. But he ain't even there yet. Like it is kind of nice to have a record, because like I do sit there and go like, wow, like I thought I had it figured out when I was riding around on a bike with a tape recorder.
Yeah.
Which by definition probably means you haven't figured it out, especially if you're on your way to your parents' home at age 20. But fuck it. I was like, that was me trying to figure shit out. But I thought that I knew. I thought I was ahead of everyone else in figuring it out because I was doing this step.
Yeah.
But now as I listen to it, fucking 22 years on, I'm like, oh my God, this guy, you're not even close. Like, I wish I could go back in time and just be like, oh my, you'll get there, but
you wouldn't probably
also
listen.
Gain weight. I don't know how else to bring it to you. That's why I'm appearing to you as a disembodied voice. He's like, can I see what I look like? I was like, oh no. There aren't enough cassettes in the world for you to deal with this. Shit goes south, kid.
Yeah.
Our tits, our gut. It just keeps sagging and falling. Filled with food and blubber. Right. Record something about that, would you? I talked to future self today. I get fatter. Reminds me of Kim.
Locals hanging out. Wonder what it's like being a local hanging out.
I've been living at this point in the same house for 20 years.
You've been a local hanging out.
With the locals. Wonder what it's like to be from this place. My mom's like, Tiger, why don't you probably get in the garage and get inside? Stop recording in the street. It's creeping people out. That woman. Who does she think she is?
Who knows?
I'm going to write on her wall. Open a yearbook.
I mean, hell, I've always been a local, but...
See? I'd give it up to Emo Kev. He's self-correcting.
He's fast.
He's not that fast.
If he was that fast, he wouldn't start by being like...
I gotta tell you, we're a lot faster than Emo Kev, but he gets there, man.
Yeah.
Like, if I could just if I would stop pausing it, you would hear him cancel out his psychosis.
Yeah.
Like, he introduces a thesis that's fucking stupid, and then immediately counters with, that's stupid.
That's what it feels like you are. That to me is that's you trying to comment to who's ever listening. And then you catch yourself going like,
this is going to sound crazy.
Yeah. Like,
I better throw out a cover story.
Yeah.
Martians. Bike. Crop circles.
Sex.
Aliens. Probing. It's not my fault. Anyway. Oh, Kim. Why'd you like him and not me?
I mean, like, you liked high school, right?
I did, but not like, I want to go back. I enjoyed it. I was not a high school, like one of these dudes like Ed Hapstack really enjoyed high school and was treated like a god. So I was never treated like a god. So after high school, I was not disillusioned.
But not even disillusioned, like lost, where it's just like
lost post high school?
Well, yeah, that high school gave you, you were defined in high school.
And most cats would go on to college, like even my brother and sister, but I didn't have that. Like, my parents were like, you don't have to, so do it if you want or whatever. So I didn't go right away. So I was already kind of off model, so to speak.
But did you feel like high school that, like I said, like you were defined by, you were with Kim, you did this, you did plays, you did that. Like, your life was, you had, you didn't have to figure anything out because there was an infrastructure there.
Yeah, that for number one, I had to be a part of whether I wanted to or not.
Exactly.
And while I was there, I made the best of it and did fun things and met cool people and had friendships and stuff. But still, there was a structure, whereas now the only structure I have is like I have a job, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's not even a job I have to have. Like I'm living at home, so it's not like, I got to fucking work or else I won't be able to pay bills. So that lack of structure is, and I didn't go on to college traditionally. I tried and then like dropped out and stuff. So at that point, I'm kind of, I guess I'm Dante. Like this is literally the seeds of Dante. You wonder where Clerks comes from, where, the Dante storyline of Clerks. This is it. The dude's sitting there going like, what am I going to do with my fucking life?
Yeah.
Days of our youth. Everything changes, man.
He's deep, man. Deep as a kiddie pool.
But at that point in your life, it's like, when you think about it, everything changes. Now, at our age, or at like people having perspective, it's like you can sit there and say that you could tear apart what you're saying. But at the end of the day, if that truly is the moment of discovery for you of like things change, like, perhaps in your mind, like your life was laid out for you. It was like you had this, once again, like this is why I go back to, like, you had this future self in your mind and based on what your present was. And now you're in a different present where you feel a little less, where you don't know what the future self is.
There's less sturdy earth under my feet.
Yeah. Like you don't know where you're going. You think you should go to college, but you're not. You're at a job that's not the job you want to necessarily spend the rest of your life doing. And so now you're sitting there looking back and you are saying something that, like, at the time might have been a profound realization where just like everything is in a constant flux of change.
Right.
It's like,
but now it's like,
but when you hear yourself say it, you're just like, oh my God, what the fuck is with this kid? Although you're just like, everybody goes through that process. I mean, some people don't even realize it when they're 20. It's still something that everyone has to come to. Some people don't come to that conclusion, but I'm defending Emo Kev right now.
I know. I'm
defending your moment of like,
well, you're like, look, this happens to everyone. You just happen to run a tape recorder.
Exactly.
And that's what makes it so awesome.
That's what's magic is like, I do think it's like, it's a window to this very specific moment where it's like, obviously,
I haven't even met you yet.
And obviously there's a lot going on in your head. You're going through this transition. There has to be a reason. The Say Anything was the device.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why you feel compelled to do it. And it's not true. Just because you want to be Lloyd Dobler. It's like,
or Rorschach.
Yeah. There's a reason you feel compelled to do it. And it's
or Batman. He journalized as well.
Yeah. Because you're at a period in your life where
I sense like a big change is coming.
Yeah.
You think like
you said it.
There's a tape that I made for my parents when I went to film school. And it was like, I was not this guy. Like now, people can sit down in front of their laptops and record confessionals and shit. This is literally a 2-camera confessional. Could easily play in a fucking reality program or go up on YouTube as a fucking 16-year-old girl pouring her heart out on the internet. Me sitting in a chair across from a camera talking to my parents and about like, I'm leaving. Thank you for everything. Goodbye. Life's about to change. Well, I get emotional. I start crying. But my sister goes, what's really unnerving about it is you seem to know that exactly what's going to happen. Like you kind of lay it out and say, you're going to film school. You're going to come back, make a movie with the boys, and then everything will change. But even before that, everything's going to change from this moment forward. You don't know that you're coming home again, but this is the moment. And I'm bittersweet about it. Like I'm fucking crying for the moment of like, wow, this is it. Like this is a transition, a huge transition.
Yep.
My sister says what's unnerving about it though. She's like, I watched it once and she's going, it really creeped me out how you're
naked.
She's like, you were jerking off and talking to our parents about how you were never coming home again.
It was sweet.
Yeah.
But still.
Don't get me wrong. The sentiments were right, but Christ, did you have to do that? I don't know. I got to dig it up and we'll play that one day, but maybe I did sense a kind of like, wow, shit's about to.
I think you're trying to vocalize. You sense that you're trying to vocalize.
Why did I do this? That's the thing. Like for the last week, I'm like, why did I do this?
I think once again that like you're at a point of view where it's like, obviously what you're saying is on some level the stuff that you're thinking, right? Everyone's going in defense of emo Kev. Everyone, lots of people at that age are doing the same thing,
right?
And you're trying to figure things out. You've gone from you get spit out the end of high school,
right?
Where it's like, you spend your life with. There's a predetermined amount of time that you're supposed to do.
It's like a prison sentence. Not a bad way, but it's just like you're going to do this for fucking 12 years.
And suddenly everyone starts asking the questions of like, are you going to like? Suddenly living with your parents comes into question. That doesn't come into question until you're 18.
Right.
I mean, some people move out, whatever, but it's like on the average, the question of whether you're going to live at home or not doesn't really come into play until after you're 18. So you're going through that transition of like, oh, well, now I'm about to become an adult.
I guess this is like my bar mitzvah tape, man.
It is.
Like I'm like today, I'm a man. Tree.
On the verge of collapse.
Not that good at change. I think that's what the problem is.
That never changed. That's the sad thing. Like, listen to fucking 20-year-old emo Kev. I can make fun of almost everything else, but on that one, I'm like, oh, emo Kev, let me roll up a fucking chair and roll a tear in a beer for you, man. The change.
Now future self wants to go back.
Never gets easier, dude. Oh, God. That would be a useful piece of information to give this kid. Like, you will never like change. It will always you'll never have a good time.
You know that everything changes, but you don't like it.
Cursed to know and see and watch it happen, and cursed as well to record it, but unable to deal with it. We're also kind of like boring, like nobody adapts well to change. Tell me one person that's just like, oh, I love change.
Chameleons.
Everybody feels the same way. Nobody likes change. Everybody, especially, I guess the only people
that's not true
that don't like change are people that are coming from a good or comfortable place. If you're in a hellish place, then you're like, fuck it, I could use some change.
I want something better. I definitely and I don't know if it's because of the way I grew up, but it's like, I definitely am like that sense of, going into a new environment. And
you're like, things are mutable, man. Like, fucking life is ephemeral. Fucking shit runs out. Like, that's just the way shit is.
I mean, I'm not superhuman. I have the same thing where it's like, it's difficult to grasp, and it's difficult to always be in the frame of mind of like, look, everything is constantly changing,
Mm-hmm.
And part of that process is when something's changing, you look at the change, and all you can do is think about it from your point of view now.
Right.
Which is like, right now, this is, the worst thing ever.
That was like a mini marriage in many ways, a mini high school marriage or post high school marriage. So when that relationship ended, it was, a lot of people like I'm very proud of the fact that I've been married for coming up on 13 years or whatever. We've been together 14 years. And particularly with the marriage thing, because particularly in this business, motherfuckers get divorced left and right.
Yeah.
I'm always proud of the fact that, like, I haven't got divorced yet, but realistically speaking, I have gone through like a few relationships, but I've also gone through a very long-term relationship that was on and off. Like, Kim and I dated for like 12 years on and off, but if you put the time together, hardcore, of back to back to back, maybe around 5 or something like that of hardcore time. So, but all that on again, off again time, man, like once that relationship is put to bed for good, that is like the ending of a marriage. It's like going through a divorce to some degree, but with just no kids. But nobody treats it the same way because it's like, oh, you guys are just dating. It's no big deal. You're not married or anything. But what's the difference? You emotionally commit to somebody. You emotionally commit. Piece of paper makes it a little more. Like,
well, once again, it's like
to stop, but
it's all based on. To me, it's based on what you're. If when you're in a relationship, some people break up and it's not as much because if in their minds they haven't landed on the idea of like, you're projecting into the future that you're going to be together forever, which is what you were doing
all the time.
So you had a mental image in your head of like this entire life spent with her.
So I was going to write for Saturday Night Live. She was going to be a dean. We were going to have 3 kids. We had their names mapped out and shit like that. Like, yeah, there was an entire narrative.
So then it is like divorce, because at the end of the day, it's
That
like
is
you
weird.
guys got married. You
And
guys
we did.
you guys created a marriage and
And-
literally acted out and listed an entire marriage. So when your relationship ends, it is different than some other people who didn't do all that stuff.
I guess to some degree, maybe that's why I'm rolling around on a bike, fucking talking out loud to myself. But let's wait. 1990, her and I started dating 1986. So by this point, this guy's talking about somebody he's dated for 4 years off and on. 2 years hardcore, and then the next 2 years off and on. So this is a guy talking about somebody who's been part of his life for, and that's not even true. We started dating in 86, started fooling around in 85. So 5 years I've known Kim at this point.
But my point is, like, all that stuff where you sat there with her and named kids and all that rest of that shit happened probably before this.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because after,
Through high school.
So when you get together with her afterwards, you're not in the same relationship. You're not in a relationship. From your own perspective, can you remember, were you in the same relationship where you were like,
here at age 20?
Yeah, like when you get back together with her, are you still thinking, oh, we're going to get married and have kids and these are their names?
Yes, I am. But the narrative changes for her. The relationship becomes less like, the future is less 100% written in fucking stone. Like in high school, it was, we get married, we have fucking kids and live in Jersey, whatever the fuck. And everything mapped out. When we break up and then get back together, I'm still like, hey, we got our plans, man. I was locked into the narrative still. Shit, her narrative now included the possibility of like, I might want to be with other people, not you.
You're like, that's weird.
I was like, but how's that going to work if we're always together?
But then your narrative changes later on.
Yes. And then we do-si-do for a little while. I mean, honestly, in truth, like for a long time, it was, you're my whole fucking life. Like I was, honest, even though we talk about Dobbling, I was literally Lloyd Dobler. What I love about Say Anything is it's a story, and I read some quote about it in an interview once. I think Cameron Crowe was talking about where it came from. And James L. Brooks suggested, not the story, but said like, I think you should do a story about a love story between a boy and a girl where the boy is nothing extraordinary and the girl has everything going for her. It's like, you don't really see that. So Say Anything came from that. And I like always identify with Lloyd Dobler because like I didn't have a fucking, you like, I want to do this. I want to do this. I love his fucking speech at the table where he's just like kickboxing, sport of the future. He's just like, I don't want to buy anything, sell anything, or process anything. I don't want to sell anything bought or processed or process anything sold, bought. But he sums up with like, I don't know. So I'm not going to figure it out tonight. So I just want to hang out with your daughter.
Yeah.
I was so that guy. All I wanted to do was just grow up and marry Kim and we'll figure out work later on. Like I wanted to own a deli, but big dreams pie in the sky was like, wouldn't it be great to write for Saturday Night Live? But really I was like, I'll probably end up like owning a deli. I can make a sandwich and shit. Nothing extraordinary. That's why I like to this day, everything that happened, I'm always like, wow, man, fucking should have happened to somebody fucking with more ambition or somebody smarter or something like that, or somebody with more to say. She was the one that was like I'm going into education, man. I'm going to be a dean. You ever meet anybody in your life that wanted to be a dean? Like,
no.
Especially
Kim.
A girl. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you met her. I guess not. You're right. He put me in my place. But she was the one that was like more ambitious, and most of our inability to connect late in high school after, like I graduated a year before her. She was a year behind me. That weird transitional year. And then like when she went to college as well. And as seen reflected in Clerks is, what are you doing with your life? Like you're smarter than this. You're better than this. You're more clever than this. But in those years before I did anything with it, it was like, fucking, it always made you feel like a loser because you're like, how come the dude that wants to just marry you isn't enough? Why do I have to want to do something in life? Why is it that I have to want to fucking have a job or fucking, do sketches just because I did them in high school? Like, isn't it enough that I'm just like, hey man, I'm here. I live to serve. Whatever you want to do, let's just fucking do it. Like you fucking take charge of everything. I'll be Mr. Mom. All I want to do is fucking you. Isn't that like enough? Like why must I fucking go do something that makes other people happy or fit into the fucking societal norm? Like instead, I'm ready to direct all this shit at you. And it was not, I don't know.
Maybe her response would be, that's
too much.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, that's pretty heavy.
Is it? Especially maybe for a high school girl.
Gotta call Laura when I get home.
Look who makes a return.
Then go to the game.
Go to the game's probably a Jersey Devils game.
Devils Red Wings.
Oh, booyah. Let me see. So 1990, you can do the math. Go back and look at a NHL calendar and find out the exact day that I was dobbling, man.
It's true.
1990, October, Devils Red Wings.
Yeah.
There's some hockey aficionado out there right now just screaming it at the fucking speaker because, they can fucking quote you chapter and verse and dates and shit.
Opening day.
Opening day. I just narrowed it down. Oh, fucking leave it to Emo Kev, dude. He's literally, it's like he saw Taken and he's just leaving details in case he gets fucking kidnapped for Liam Neeson to find him.
Devils Red Wings. Opening day. I hit the bank in the morning. About $20 off that. Gotta give that back.
Oh my God. That's going to make me cry. About $20 from my dead father. He wasn't dead then.
Yeah.
That'd be weird. That'd be theft at that point because he wouldn't consent to the loan. Unless, I had a seance involved. I cannot picture saying, Dad, can I borrow $20? I'm sure it happened, but I can't picture it because I can't imagine him. I imagine his response is like, why do you think I have money? I'm married to your mother. And not in the way of like, she spends it, but she was literally the person.
Like, she's got the money. Why are you coming to me?
Yeah. That's strange.
Maybe you wanted, maybe you knew she might say no.
Yeah. But what was it for?
The hockey game.
Oh, I'm looking to buy some snacks. She's like, you don't need no pretzels. But like, yeah, everyone else is going to eat pretzels.
Come on, Mom.
Oh, please. Don't make me look like an asshole in front of Brian Wall.
Brian's going to eat pretzels.
They're going to eat sodas and pretzels.
No one on the wall tonight.
No one on the wall tonight. The wall in front of the Methodist Church. Muses talked about it on Jay and Silent Bob Good Old. People used to just hang out on that wall. And even late at night, you'd see some like late teens or early 20s cats hanging out on Bay Avenue and shit, fucking have beers below the wall and shit like that. By the Methodist Church. So me driving past it going like, no one on the wall tonight. So I'm not going to get fucked with by some fucking mean kids whipping beer bottles or something like that.
Record this, loser.
Stop talking to yourself, fuckhead.
Everything changes, right?
You guys shouldn't open the door to hostility, I'll tell you that much.
It's cool. Feel less scum out.
Batman. He's Batmaning now.
Yeah.
He switched from dobbling to Batmaning. Less criminal scum on the wall.
Then again, who am I to be calling anyone scum?
Oh my God. This dude. He flip-flops like Romney, man. He's just like, I've got a position, and then,
scum.
It's mutable.
Maybe I'm scum.
Yeah. They're scum. I'm scum. We're all scum. I scum, you scum. We all scum for I scum.
Who am I?
I'm Batman. That'd be amazing. Please do it, Emo Kev. Please make my dreams come true.
Am I anybody?
Fuck. You had to take it
Not
there.
Batman.
Yeah, anywhere but fucking Batman. He took it to the weakest, softest place. See, current Kev would have rocked on Batman. Emo Kev instead tags up a perfect setup, a spiker dude with, am I anybody?
Anybody?
This dude ain't ready to live podcast. I'll tell you that right now. He's slow.
I'm on Ponder Rock.
Oh, we
Poor
just
sprawling
totally switched locations.
Ponder Rock. Where's that? Holy shit.
I think you've named the rock where you're going to ponder things.
I think I took that from Bloom County. Ponder Rock, if anything, if it, I don't think anybody calls it that. In fact, I'm quite sure I might as well call it Kev Rock. Is where Ben is sitting in Jersey Girl looking out at the town of Highlands. And you see everything comes full circle, kids. As you listen to Emo Kev, the seeds of everything I'll ever do
are contained within this
You can see it. You can see where it all comes from. When we pick him up on Ponder Rock, he's going to get into some big thoughts. Listen to that. And then we'll probably wrap it up right now, but let's get a little taste of what happens when one sits on Ponder Rock, Scott. Little taste of Emo Kev on Ponder Rock. Big thoughts coming.
I'm on Ponder Rock. For a sprawling sea, whose expanse is far greater than mine will ever be.
Are you comparing yourself to the ocean?
I'm jealous. Why does the ocean get to be so big? One day I'll be bigger than the ocean. I'll be so big, they'll tell me to get off a plane.
Just cooling down from a little run.
What the fuck? A run?
Look at you.
And not only did I run, Scott, I ran with a tape recorder in my hand. I ran right to Ponder Rock and started putting my thoughts down.
And as I expectorated into the ocean.
Are you peeing?
Expectorate to spit. See, what a dick. You can't just say, I'm spitting in the ocean. You jerk.
A metaphor calmly overtakes me. You know, spitting into the sea is a lot like life.
Told you.
And this is how.
And this is how.
Because I know you want to know the answer.
You know, spitting in the ocean is a lot like life. You know, talking into a tape recorder is a lot like life. You know, riding a bike home is a lot like life. Everything is a metaphor for life to Emo Kev.
You have a huge expanse of water.
He likes the word expanse.
It covers more territory on the earth than land covers. It provides a living atmosphere, biosphere for countless organisms and life forms. It gives life, it takes away life. There are boats and planes hidden somewhere in this body that no one will ever see again.
The ocean, Scott, angrily and vengefully will steal a plane from the ocean. I have nothing changed.
People still wonder where they went.
Not people.
You do.
It's just you, Kev. Does anybody know where Amelia Earhart went?
My point is that
wrap it up.
The sea is great. I mean, it's enormous. Something bigger than...
He's searching.
He's like, fuck.
I ran out of metaphors and things to compare it to.
He's like, I already said it covers more of the earth.
Where's he going to go with it, Scott? Let's find out.
Than me, than you.
Ah! Scott, he's acknowledging you. He's talking to you. Answer him.
Something bigger than me, than you.
He expects and somebody's going to hear this sooner or later.
Yeah.
But by spitting into the ocean?
Here we go. Usually he's going to wrap up that fucking magical metaphor he promised us 10 minutes ago.
Telling us that the ocean is bigger than you.
Than both of us. Scott, I don't know if you know this, but ocean's it's wider than the two of us standing next to one another.
You've just added to something that great.
He's 20.
And that's life how?
I don't know. He's 20, dude. He's like, by spitting in the ocean, you're as great as the ocean. Whoa.
You add to the ocean's greatness. And that's a metaphor for life.
Yeah. For this life. Which, I gotta be honest with you, it doesn't sound like it's really that full.
Now, no matter where you go,
there you are.
Metaphorically, you're part of that whole body of water. I guess the same could be said for pissing in the ocean.
For the first hints of the Kev that we all know and love. Getting dirty with it, getting jiggy with it, if you will. Getting pissy with it. Talk about pissing in the ocean. Imagine if I'm just like, what if the recording went to like, now I'm pissing in the ocean. Now I'm masturbating on Ponder Rock, which I've renamed Jerk Off Rock.
But we'll leave it with spitting. I'm not up for a piss in the ocean right now.
Nah.
You're a finicky guy.
You sound like Morris, that fucking cat from the old cat food commercials. Morris, do you want to piss in the ocean? Maybe later. 9 lives. Cat food and Morris.
Metaphorically, that's like life.
you gotta explain it, kid, because we don't see it here in the future.
This huge, great big. This fantastic.
Ever rewriting.
Happenstance. Goes on.
Could use a little more rewriting.
Straight through the ages. It's been going on since the first organisms crawled out of the sea.
Second use of the word organism.
It's been going on forever. It'll go on after you're gone.
It's talking to you.
I know.
You better fucking start considering that. Scott, that ocean, it goes on forever. And it's going to go on after you're gone. And it's not going to end when you end.
That's true.
They can't bury the ocean with you, Scott. The ocean is eternal.
It won't even. The ocean is eternal.
And it's yielded mighty prospects.
Oh, the ocean, she yields mighty prospects.
But no matter what happens to him, where you go,
here's the part of knowing that you were part of that large machine. You added to it. You were a part of life.
The things you do will affect people, even though you don't know it. Straight on down through the ages.
Shit, dude. This is fucking Cloud Atlas.
Yeah.
I'm lit in 1990, dude. I'm writing Cloud Atlas. I'm like the Wachowskis. One man Wachowskis on Ponder Rock.
That's why someone should make it into a movie called Kev Atlas.
Choices you make. Choices.
Dramatic repeat of our thesis. Choices are hard.
Choices.
There's a nasty word. Paradoxical because it's...
Oh, good God.
Beautiful to be able to make a choice. But it's nasty because you do have to make a choice.
You don't like making choices.
Everything. My deepest views are, on one hand, this could happen. On another hand, I'm Harvey Dent, dude.
You are.
I'm crippled without my coin. Emotionally crippled. And life is so polarized to me.
It always seems like you're making the wrong choices, too. When do you make the right choice? When do you yield something?
Second use of the word yield.
From an option you took that you can sit there and say, hey, this was better.
Hey.
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 Hey. I made a good choice. When do I get to make a good choice?
That's nice, Kev. Bye. Margaret, the Smith kid, is out on the porch, self-affirming again. Don't go out for a few hours.
Did he tell you the thing about spitting into the ocean is a metaphor for life?
Boy, this kid, we got to get him off that coin and onto like an 8-sided die. He needs a few more decisions.
Choice. That's a nasty word.
Choice. What a monster.
That's enough pondering.
Oh, shit. Emo Kev's about to be replaced. We've seen he became Emo Kev, but now this is like that moment in fucking Last Temptation of Christ, dude, where Christ comes out of the fucking desert. He goes to see the Baptist in the desert, and the ghost appears to him, and it fucking gives him like the axe and shit. And he cuts down the tree, and he's like, I used to believe in love. Now I believe in this. Who's with me? And they all fucking march, and he's got the axe and shit. Now you're about to hear Jesus Kev. He's ready to lead these men into Jerusalem.
The 22nd? Yeah. October 22nd. It's chilly out. Wet. I like it, though. I like it a lot. It would be a Kevin sort of day, but I'm still going to go to work. It's only for 6.5 hours. I woke up from odd dreams. How much did I really like her?
I thought that Ponderous Kev was over.
No, he's back. He fought his way back. He's unkillable like Jason Voorhees. He just switched up from a burlap sack to a hockey mask. Oh, he's still going to kill us with his emo, man. Oh, Emo Kev, you'll kill us all. Literally. I'm scared of you, Emo Kev.
I don't know. See, the dream is easy to throw up, like most dreams.
That'd be awesome. Like the next piece is like, had a dream about Mosier. But Mosier's just a guy. You can't marry him.
I don't know who he is. Yeah, it's your voice now. I'm like, it doesn't sound like an old recording.
You hear in the background, front door open. I'm like, oh shit, he's here. Click.
Welcome to Smodcast.
Involving romance or anything else, because that's what they are, dreams, and they represent phantom images that...
I like dream therapist Emo Kev. He's ever tried to tell us what dreams are. Last time, if you remember, of course, he told us dreams aren't real and you can't ignore them. Today, he's taking it a bit more scientific, Scott. He's going to tell you exactly what dreams are. Synapses, images in your brain.
That's what they are, dreams, and they represent phantom images that could never be realistic.
He's wrong. Dreams can be very realistic.
Phantom images.
Let's see. Let's break it down. I don't know if you could diagram the sentence.
That's what they are, dreams, and they represent phantom images that could never be realistic.
Worked. A little hinky, but it worked.
For example, my dream.
Oh, that's haunting. And suddenly you hear another voice again, like, he's dead. Click. Oh, that's weird. That must be the end of the tape, man. We got to the end of the side. Okay, what I got here on one side is 3120. On the other side, 3147 left. So we're seconds away
from halfway.
From the halfway point of Emo Kev 1990 in October. It's, boy, we learned some stuff today, Scott. It wasn't all shits and giggles. It was some of it.
You're dealing with some real shit.
Yeah, this is big time for both me and Emo Kev.
Yeah,
because now, I mean, Emo Kev's obviously working through his issues, but while we tease him, I'm obviously seeing where things came from and emanated from. Can I use this information to improve myself in some way, or will it result in me just driving around recording myself more?
That's the only idea you get from it?
Yeah, you're like, people are like, did you learn anything? Did you grow? I was like, shit, yeah. I learned I'm fucking wasting perfectly good driving time not podcasting. I got a bike.
Soliloquized.
soliloquized. Now I'm a beat poet. I'm like, soliloquized, prophesized, confused.
Nothing, I don't know.
Synthesized.
Very few things in my life have, like, failed to disappoint so consistently. Just the air.
Soliloquize. Back into it.
Happily, but I was giddy while doing it. It's the kind of romance that I know I'm capable of. I know I'm capable of happiness. I just forget how.
Someone's not listening.
I guess.
You're frustrated. You're frustrated because you feel like you've achieved this thing, and yet you can't consistently tap into it.
I gotta hear that again. Why is he mad? Why did he get mad all of a sudden? Everything was calm. We were at the ocean. No.
Angry rock.
Yeah.
Happily, but I was giddy while doing it. It's the kind of romance.
First off, what 20-year-old says giddy?
I know one.
Oh, good Lord.
Happily, but I was giddy while doing it. It's the kind of romance that I know I'm capable of. I know I'm capable of happiness. I just forget how.
I just forget how. This motherfucker's life couldn't be easier, dude. It's embarrassingly easy when I think back now. He lived with his fucking parents. It's
yeah,
cute,
but you're a deal. You're.
And maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I'm this guy, because I'm more in the tape where I'm like, I'm 20 and I'm still living home with my parents. I think I should be on the move. Like, there was a sense of like,
you're adrift, dude.
Very much so. And I'm looking for a fucking purchase. I'm looking for some purchase. I'm looking for a port, Scott. Any port of storm. I'm on Ponder Rock trying to fucking moor my shit to Ponder Rock. But I am drifting.
Or maybe I haven't found anyone to be happy about.
Yeah.
He turns it around.
Yes,
he's like, it ain't me, it's you. He's using it's not me, it's you on the world.
You see, that's why I know it's just a dream, because my reality is never like that. It's a prototype for every relationship I was going to have after her.
I think I'm talking. I can't say for sure, but I imagine. If I have to guess, I'm not still talking about Kim. I think I'm talking about Amy this time. Mm-hmm. If I have to guess, and people will be like, "Amy, chasing Amy?" No, but I mean, similar in name, and that's
yeah.
First, there was the biggie.
Kim.
Well, first there was Norma. Kind of
fucking poor Norma.
Man, you tossed her out like
right under the bus.
First, there was the biggie.
well, let's be honest. Yeah. Before there was Star Trek 2, there was Star Trek the motion picture. That relationship was a lot of glory shots of the Enterprise, kind of bad outfits, bald chicks.
There was some way to get out of the way.
Rather calm, though. That's the biggie. Yeah. Holy shit. Oh, yeah. Game changer. Poor Norma. Dismissed very quickly. Wow. There's that. Okay.
Well, first there was Norma. Kind of eased me into relationships and see how they run. Then there was the biggie. There was Kim. And at the fruition of that, which I don't even know if I can call it fruition, because I was never satisfied. I didn't think it reached its peak, went to the fullest.
Oh, man, I didn't take it to the limit, dude.
You didn't?
That's what I'm hearing. And I don't mean fucking like the Eagles. Take it to the limit, dude. I mean, like the 80s Scarface, take it to the limit, like take it to the limit. Limit! I didn't take it there, man.
No.
And I'm sad about that. It's a lesson to be learned, kids. The Scarface lesson in all this is the world is yours. Take it to the fucking limit.
You didn't take the biggie to the limit, is what you're saying.
That's taking the biggie to the limit. The Kev Smith story.
That's beyond the point. But after that, it was Amy. Basically, I mean, skipping character, she was kind of lulled in with Kim, but...
There was another person, but for all intents and purposes, they don't matter for this because I gotta get to my point. Amy!
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of disclaimers, man. I'm sorry to these girls who are just like, yeah, we're like, what the fuck? They're like, you know what, Fatso? We don't think about you either. I'm like, all right, that's fair enough.
Here was a girl, so beautiful. Perky, kinda.
Immediately fucking dials it back. Perky, kinda.
I could, Emo Kev may be the ultimate politician. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, things are bad, but they're also good. Abortion is wrong, but it's also right.
Or is it?
Yeah, man. He's like fucking, it's fucking Kev Romney in 1990. He's just like, if I don't like my stance or you don't like my stance initially,
I'll just keep it. I'll adjust.
I'll flip it, man.
I think you're going at a pace. I think you're like trying to fill the airspace. And so you're constantly going like Perky pops out and then you're like, maybe not.
I'm rewriting. Yeah, like Perky. No, not Perky. I'm trying to think. Was she Perky? Can't remember.
Perky's a weird word.
Yeah, and believe me, when it comes to this chick, Perky's not. No wonder he corrected. Emo Kev corrected quickly because even Emo Kev, who's like lost in a haze of nostalgia from like 3 weeks prior, even he quickly pulls back on Perky. I don't know if I would have considered her Perky.
Well, you did start the whole conversation with.
She's fun, beautiful. Well, I was giddy, I thought.
You were giddy. But
which is even more embarrassing. I probably shouldn't admit to that part.
Giddy, kind of.
Or not giddy, if that's what you want. Love me.
What do you want?
That's what I hear in all this. It's just like, oh my God, I long to be fucking patted on the back. But, and I don't have cinema. I don't have podcasting. I don't have Twitter for somebody to be like, good job. All I have is like I'm an audience of one.
I wonder if you listened back to it when you were back there. Like, did you sit in your room and listen back to it?
I don't think so. I wonder. Like, I'm trying to think. I think I would have been embarrassed if I was just like listening to this like a week after I recorded. I probably would have erased it. Like, there's no way I would have had enough hubris to keep it had I listened to this. I would have been like, what are you doing? And flushed the tape. So I'm thinking I recorded them and did not listen to them. Which is like, what an awesome gift from the past.
Yeah.
Emo Kev looking out for
it's like you went back in time and gave him a micro cassette recorder.
As a stranger in a fucking hood and stuff.
Hello, my name is...
He's like, oh my God, who are you? Don't kill me. I'll suck your dick. I wound up getting a blowjob for myself.
Yeah. You forgot to give him
I had to go back a second time.
Back in time with the cassette. Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, I got home. I was like, that's so fucked up. Do I tell my wife? Is it cheating if I sucked my own dick? Oh, wait, it was a younger version of myself. How old was he at that point? What's in my hand? I forgot to fucking give him the micro cassette recorder.
You get back there.
He's like, oh, God.
You immediately dives on his dick again.
He's like, give me that.
The more I think about it, the more I can't come up with that many great adjectives. Oh, she was beautiful. Maybe that's about it. She was beautiful. Not just physically, but she was a beautiful person. Yeah, she had dark notions, but... Hell, I'm the king of dark notions.
Oh my God.
is this person, dude? Holy Christ. He did not just say that. I gotta rewind it. I gotta stop crying. I gotta hear it. Hold on.
Dark notions, but she had dark notions, but
I literally puffed, as in print, like you would write PFT. That's a meh. That's a 90s version of meh. I was like, sure, she had dark notions. Meh.
No,
I'm the king of darkness.
It was more like you were going like, she had dark notions, and they were like, fuck her.
She's a rank amateur. You don't know if I'm dark.
I am dark notion royalty.
You're eating fucking chicken breast, calling it dark meat, bitch. I'm on a thigh. A dirty, dark thigh.
well, I'm the king of dark notions.
Oh.
Oh, my God.
But anyway.
You know how dark? Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Anywho.
That's a huge declaration. Anyway.
And then followed up with, it's like, so I am the fucking destroyer of worlds. Do you have a bathroom?
I stayed with her, 4 months, 5 months? And all that wasn't even 5 months, 4 months straight. Started out well, idyllic. And quickly declined into turmoil, paranoia, resentment, termination.
What the fuck? I'm like,
you're like, oh my God.
I've said too much.
Cops busted.
If you hear this, burn the tape. I've killed another human being.
I'll have to destroy this tape.
Whatever you do, keep the cops from looking under Ponder Rock.
So many bodies.
I love them all and kill them all. I told you I was the king of darkness.
Now he's the king of dark thoughts.
At first I was great, wonderful, the guy. And at the end, what was I? Nothing. Beginning is great, middle is okay, ending, just get tired of each other. But hell, why do I have to take the economy package?
Oh,
awesome.
I want to give him a hug, dude. Why? Why does he have to take the economy package? He knows there's 3 acts to every relationship.
Yep.
His is expedited is what he's getting at.
What's the first class package?
I guess you get married and have a kid and live happily ever after, but you eventually die. He doesn't think about that. He's 20. He doesn't think about death.
Well, a little bit.
I mean, he's the fucking king of dark notions. Kevin Smith, the king of dark notions.
Notions. Such a weak word. You're like dark thoughts.
See this thimble? It's evil.
I have notions that would fucking blow your mind.
See this jack from a set of jacks? It's evil. These are dark notions. Here's another one. What if Lee Harvey Oswald didn't work alone? These are the dark notions of Kevin Smith.
Welcome to another episode of Dark Notions.
Some people think they have dark notions.
He's the king of dark notions.
Beginning is great, middle is okay, ending, just get tired of each other. But hell, why do I have to take the economy package?
Yeah, man. He's talking to you. Answer him, Scott.
I don't know what he means.
He's desperate for help. Why won't you answer him?
He's literally talking in like rental car terms. I don't know what to say.
He's like, do I fill it with gas before I return it? I don't know. Love is a lot like getting one of those GPS things in the car when you rent it. You got to ask for it. Sometimes the windows don't roll down to the back.
Did you check the insurance?
Did you get out and look for dings?
Before you drove away with it? Because then you come back. And then they blame you.
That's what would have happened to Emo Kev. If he didn't get in the film, he'd be 40, and that would be his fucking life's a lot
Working
like
at the Alamo fucking rental.
Life's a lot like these fuckers who don't get out and check their cars. And then I got to do it. I mean,
me, king of the dark notions.
Got a dark notion to kick half their asses, I'll tell you that much. You know,
the guy you work with is like, all he is the king of mumbling weird shit under his breath.
Shut the fuck up. Laura said I was the best.
Just get tired of each other, but hell, why do I have to take the economy package?
Yeah, man. Don't stand for that.
I mean, look. I do all that, but I do it in like 2 months, 3 months. The average of about 2.5 months.
So that's your gripe, is that it's just like it all, the beginning, fast. Middle, ends too quick.
Yeah. Which, I don't know. That sounds pretty good. It sounds like Emo Kev invented speed dating.
How come I can't take my time and enjoy and you know, let it end like everyone else is, like after a little while?
It's getting a little whiny.
Yes. Hey, Junior. Junior.
Why can't I get the long-term relationship?
Yeah, where is someone to
for
click
me
to my clack?
To be here for a while.
This is hopelessly devoted to you, man. If you're watching Grease, sadly, I'm not the Danny moment.
No, you're
I'm Sandy.
I don't know, man. Maybe I just won't buy into the scam of relationships. Maybe they won't buy into the scam of me.
Oh.
Like I've turned it on back on you.
Guess what, relationships?
Wherever you are.
Now it's my turn.
Joke's on you.
I know this kid, dude. There's nothing mysterious or dark about him. He's not the king of dark notions. And, he had no right to say what he just said. None. Listen.
More relationships. Maybe they won't buy into the scam of me.
There's no scam of him. Like, scam of him would be interesting, right? Like, that would mean that there's something
there's some, like, yeah, that there is some, like, hidden thing.
I noticed.
What is the scam of Kevin?
Yeah, they're like fucking, oh, he's a man of many. He's like Maskatron. Like, what, a doll from the $6 million man?
Like, exactly.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. Change him up. Sometimes he's Oscar Goldman. Sometimes he's a character you've never seen before. And sometimes he's Steve Austin.
Poor Amy was the prototype. God, I wish she didn't have to be.
What kind of Shatner-esque, man.
I know.
Poor Amy was the, what was it? Poor Amy was the prototype. God, I wish she didn't have to be. Gone! It's coming through now. Gone.
Poor Amy was the prototype. God, I wish she didn't have to be. Everyone after that. Diana, what, a month and a half, 2 months to reveal who I was? To come up short, so to speak, after being so wonderful?
Are you acknowledging the fact that
I'm a strong starter, Scott. Relationship, I can begin very strong, but then after a month or so, I can't keep up like the fucking.
But you may be acknowledging the scam that's you, which is that what you were doing at first was not 100, wasn't what they were going to get. You weren't presenting.
But isn't that what everybody does?
I don't know.
Don't you present your best foot forward? Like, that's what, like, when I listen to this, I'm like, what is this kid sweating? Like, yeah, dick. You went out and you fucking didn't say any of the bad shit about yourself. You sold with the good shit. So, like, of course, sooner or later, fucking people are going to find out you're not all that or whatever. You've got your drawbacks or whatever. And he seems like this kid is having a hard time processing that. Whereas me, from where I am now, I'm just like, well, all right. Move on. What are you being so upset? That's relationships. That's how they roll. But
I mean, maybe what you're saying is that like it's such a condensed period of time that it's, I don't know, that the time between when your best foot forward to your worst foot is fast.
Pretty quick. Yeah. Okay. And maybe I'm just trying to spin it positively, but what I hear in that, Scott, is I'm getting a lot of pussy. I'm not tied down, man. This kid's bitching about like, why can't I be married? It's like, play the field, bitch.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Come all over Ponder Rock.
Jen? Not even.
Whoa! Not my Jen from obviously 1990, different Jen. Jen Madsen, who actually saw when, we did for Comic Book Men, we shot the signing that we had back east. The Secret Stash did a tough shit signing. And, I saw her that she was passing by. She was like, oh my God, with her kid. I haven't seen her in like forever, man. And she still like looks young as fuck.
I mean, it could be a thing where it's like, well, you're not acknowledging it's like, it wasn't a relationship. It was just like,
we just fucked around a little bit, fooled around. Yeah.
It was a time. You just had some time. Had some time together.
I'm telling you, I was the marrying man, dude. I really wanted to like
every time you started, you were just like, this is it.
I saw him in a wedding dress. That was like, that's what got my dick hard. I was like, oh, I want to marry the fuck out of you.
Oh man, we're going to get married. They're like, get away.
You're going to be such a wife. They're like, oh yeah, that's fucking hot. Makes me all sorts of wet.
Yeah, I'm all wet.
Wait a sec, let's see. There's Carrie, Kim, Amy, Diana, Jen.
Playa. What up, playa? What you complaining about, playa? That's a long list, son.
Betsy. No, before Betsy. Jill.
Fucking.
Look at you, man.
What am I complaining about? Why am I
Sherman's
upset?
March. You can see that pussy tear from space.
Totally, man. And I'm like sitting there going, why can't I fall in love?
Why won't they marry me?
He's falling face first into pussy galore. And he's like, why can't I fall in love? I'm pussy love.
After Joe's Betsy, and look at that. Ended in sham, scam, shambles, scambles, turmoil, nothing.
Shambles, scambles. What was the last thing? Mopping?
I'm playing fucking $500,000 pyramid. I'm like, things in a round, things in a box, chocolate babies. I don't know. Next.
What was the last thing you said?
After Joe's Betsy, and look at that. Ended in sham, scam, shambles, scambles, turmoil, nothing. That's it.
It's a long list, Kev.
Yeah.
I don't know that it ended. It also sounds very dramatized. I don't remember it ending in all of those things.
Like, that sounds like pretty bad.
I could even check with Betsy and be like, do you remember like how our relationship ended? She'd probably be
call
like,
it some words.
Did we ever
scam?
Shambles?
Scambles?
Would you describe our relationship as in scambles? She's like, did we even kiss? Oh my God, of course we did. It was a scam.
Yeah, we were going to get married.
It ended in hate, resentment. No?
No?
This is Kevin Smith. You do know that.
We were going to get married.
And now Laura, same difference.
Oh, look, who's back? Back again. Oh man, she told me I was the best.
They're all interchangeable, kind of.
I'm sure they'd all be pleased to hear that.
They're like, wow, thanks.
Yeah, fucking, you're interchangeable.
No, not at all.
What a hero, dude. Come on. He can't even be mean.
Yeah.
He's like, they're interchangeable.
Well, technically, you're not mean. You're being mean to some of them.
Yeah, I guess so. But I always pull it back. I'm like, they're interchangeable. No.
No, not all of them. Some of them.
Yeah, that's true. Shooting some. I'm no hero. I'm an anti-hero. Like Han Solo. I'm shooting Greedo and shit like that. I'm cool again. Who wants to be Luke Skywalker, man? I'd rather be Han Solo. And this is fucking Han Solo right here, son.
Somehow I don't think the movie would have been quite as successful.
He's like, okay, this is about a farm kid, lives on a desert planet, meets up with a giant dog creature called a Wookiee. The Wookiee's pal. This very emo 20-year-old.
Wants to get married.
He dreams of love.
He spits into space at some point.
Says he joins the cosmos.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
You know what it is, my friend? You have no...
Somebody with him?
You're talking to yourself.
Oh, my God. I'm like Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
I'm just like, but Batman was always good to us. No, Batman is the enemy. Flip the coin. That's the worst Two-Face impression.
Flip the cassette.
Oh, that was good.
Self-worth. You have no pride in yourself. No sense of self-worth. No pride, no... You don't revel in the wonder of you.
Oh, dude. Oh, God.
No wonder you're the king of dark notions.
Don't revel in the wonder of me. Reveling in the wonder of me. Wow, man. Maybe that's how I got here. Maybe I started telling myself, you better start.
You better revel, bitch.
Rebel, young man, rebel.
Revel.
What are you reveling against? I'm not. I'm reveling in the wonder of me.
You should try it.
Shoot that man.
That's
Wow.
very cliche.
Oh, wow.
That's a cliche.
You don't revel in the wonder of you. Oh, that's very cliche.
Yeah, because everyone was saying that back in 1990, man. That and fucking chili most were the two expressions you'd hear on every street corner in suburbia.
And that's why, because all these relationships don't really sum up to relationships. They sum up to challenges. Who? Can I get this one? And then when you do it, you feel good. That's all it is.
Well, apparently I was like a young Jason Mewes. Jason Mewes was always like, his whole hang up is like, until he got married, he's like, couldn't really have a decent relationship because he's like,
You wanted to capture.
Yeah, he's all about the pursuit and capture. And then after that,
he's like,
pursue something else.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing wrong with emo Kev. He's 20-year-old. He's just like,
you're allowed to be. This is all normal 20-year-old behavior.
But I also think that because I was raised, awesome.
Way better.
Delicious. But I also think because I was raised in, like, my parents stayed together and shit like that, and they were, I don't know, there's
so you have this expectation of yourself.
Like you get married, and my mom got married young. She was like 18 and shit. So maybe in my head, I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with me?
Yeah, I should be married by now.
But to be fair, my father was not 18. He was 27. He was 9 years older than her. He was robbing that fucking cradle and shit. Got like that young pussy. This is what my father said at the wedding.
And now Don would like to say,
Don wrote his own vows.
Well, those were brief.
And even though it is a house of God, can't argue with that logic.
Yeah. Even God doesn't argue with that. Grace, do you have any words of your own?
Grace, where you going? Grace, somebody get the bride.
Grab the young pussy.
Feeding ego you have. See, if you had some pride in yourself, if you enjoyed yourself.
Suddenly you hear a zipper go down. Listen to me enjoying myself on Pleasure Rock.
So much pride.
I will unleash my treasure on Pleasure Rock.
Let me revel
in the wonder of me. The Sandy Hook Patrol. We got like what looks like a fat guy. This time, he's fucking masturbating. Oh, I wish smartphones had been invented because I would shoot the shit out of this kid. He looks like a giant squid in the night trying to hump a stone.
It's amazing.
I can't. Just seeing it is unleashing the poet in my soul.
If you thought of yourself as something more than what you think you are, if you gave yourself more credit, if you liked yourself a little more, if you loved yourself, you wouldn't treat people this way.
I'm lost. I don't get it.
You're saying
if I liked myself, then I wouldn't.
You're saying that if you obviously you don't like yourself, or you don't like yourself, and so
because
you're
of that,
pursuing them
to make myself feel better.
Yeah, but then once you've got them and they're validated, then you're just like, I need that from somebody else, as opposed to,
and then they get hurt.
Yeah.
You are like the fucking Dr. Google Hunting, man. You understand this motherfucker. You've dialed into Emo Kev. I can't. He baffles me, and yet you can explain him very easily.
Because at the outset, you could see what it was going to be about.
He's fucking boring himself.
Yeah, it's like, is there snoring?
Sandy Hook Patrol. He's asleep now.
Asleep with
Tide's coming in. Should we do something here?
Should we just let it happen finally? He doesn't seem very happy.
Butter floats. What the fuck's that mean? It means walk away. Whatever happens, happens. And let the sea claim him.
He'll become a part of the vastness.
That's what he always wanted.
Yeah.
You could hold out for a romance. Your sense of romance is dead. Your sense of romanticism is on the money, but how accurate is it? I mean, sure, it's accurate, but how true is it?
Wait.
What you're saying is that you doubt the sincerity of your romantic.
I believe in
tendency.
Romance, but I don't. My sense of romance, like
you're doing romantic things.
Yes, but not with a true heart.
Yeah, but you're doing them for the purpose of getting that valid. Like you're going into the relationships, and I think that goes back to what you were saying before, which is like the scam, which is like you in your mind. The scam is that you pursue very aggressively
the best version of myself,
very
possible.
romantically, and then you're just sort of, but you're almost doing it. You're doing it.
Right.
You know that you're doing this and doing that.
I'm self-aware.
You're self-aware of
I'm like, Hal. At the end of the tape, I'm like, Daisy.
Revel in my...
Reveling in the wonder of you.
Every romance you set up, is doomed to fail because you're dooming it yourself. You just want to show what a great guy you could be. So that when you're gone, they get an idea of what they've lost. And really, what did they lose? How they're better off. Nobody wants a lying dickbag.
I gotta put that on a t-shirt.
I mean, I gotta be honest. That's pretty true.
True words.
Yeah.
the greatest philosopher of our time.
Tapes found years later.
Not Elmar Boucher. We're talking about Kev Smith. No one wants a lying dick bag. The Kev Smith story.
Okay, kids.
See, that's it, man. You just don't have much love for yourself.
You think you're a lying dick bag?
Well, I mean, am I?
I don't know. I didn't say that.
But based on what we know, am I a lying dick bag? Isn't that what people do when you're courting somebody? You try to put the best face forward to I mean, it's buried in our genetics or DNA, but to mate. But
you feel like what I'm getting from this tape from this 20-year-old Kev is that you feel like what you're doing is very calculated.
But is that wrong? Isn't it calculated to want to get laid or to have a relationship or?
I don't know. I'm
shocked that a fat kid's getting this much pussy, man. Like, I don't have memories of this at all. Where it's just like this kid's like running games and scams. What the
Scamble?
He gambles. Like, it's crazy how. I don't know, man. It's just so weird. I'm like, really? Was there that much fucking going on back then? I guess that's what I did with my time. And like now,
you pursued women.
Well, I pursued. What am I always looking for? Approval.
Yeah.
The only place that I felt that it had any impact or where it mattered to me the most. Girls.
I'm pretty sure what happened in my assessment is that you met during your relationship with Kim, all of these sort of grand romantic gestures in your mind became like, oh, that's how you do it. Like, this is how you do it. So you get into these relationships with somebody and it's like in the first week, you're just like,
this ain't Kim.
Here comes the this, here comes the that.
And then I get to a point where I'm like, this ain't Kim. This relationship is not like I base it against that scale and it never measures up to the scale of the much longer relationship I had with Kim.
I think that's part of it, but I also think that you're doing these like when you did it with Kim, there might have been more sincerity. I don't mean in a bad way, but you were doing those things and without as much you weren't as self-aware about doing them. You sort of felt motivated by doing them by something else. But now you're aware, you're older, and you're going like, I am doing these things specifically to make them go like, holy shit.
Yeah, to impress and to make myself feel good.
Yeah.
Like I have such low self-esteem that to drive it up, I'm like, well, I'll fucking go out and be like,
I'm more romantic than anybody else.
Totally. And then a couple weeks later, you're like, meh. Well, then I ease up on the gas.
Yeah, like, I don't want to maintain this.
Yeah, well, this is hard. This is exhausting.
Romantic Kev turns into tired Kev.
Sleeping Kev joins the party.
Is this romantic?
Revel in the wonder of the shit.
Yeah. I'm going to lay down and if you want to climb on top of me.
Look at yourself. What do you think? Think I gained weight. Beside the point. Physical aspect.
Like, think I gained weight. Fuck that. Yeah, back to the real issue.
Whatever.
Oh, women.
Yeah. It's them.
I mean, even if you look great, I don't even know if you'd love yourself that much. Well, it's worth a shot. So that's why we're going to go that route.
That's why
you're basically like biking and you've got it in your head where you're like, if you shed the pounds, you're going to
feel better. But I bought the diet commercials. If you look good, Scott, you feel good. So I'm trying to look good.
But think about it. That's why all these relationships, what do they mean to you? Just challenges, man. Just goals. Let's see if I can. And then when you can, you get a little pride. It's like running a race for you. And that's how quick they last. And you want to leave this image that you were something to be reckoned with, a wonderful thing that briefly passed by, and you can't do that. I mean, it works, but then they really see that it was a scam.
Or scambles.
Or scambles.
It could have been massive scambles.
It was false, and they don't wind up missing you. They wind up hating you.
Wow, man. You are the king of dark notions.
But for that few...
Spitting in the ocean.
Yeah, I need to feel part of something bigger.
I gotta merge with the infinite.
Where was I? Oh, hate.
But for that few minutes, that few days, maybe a few weeks at best, that they have that image that you were something that was lost, something great that was lost. And that's what fuels your engine, man. You're a goddamn misanthrope. You don't like people.
I don't really think of myself as misanthropic back then.
You're real down on yourself right now.
In emo Kevin.
Yeah.
You're
really down on yourself. Because you've suddenly had this, like, it's like you're feeling you are being self-aware where you're saying you do know why you're doing these things.
Yeah.
But you're questioning, like, and you're sort of turning it around on yourself and being like, this behavior is, like, hurting other people. And you're questioning. You're questioning a lot of things. You're 20. That's my thing. It's like you're 20.
Does he care?
Because when you're 20, it's like how you relate to the world starts to change. It's like when you're a teenager, it's like everything's much more. When you're a teenager, generally speaking, in my opinion, it's like things are much more emotional. They're based a lot way more on just emotion, pure emotional reactions. Like relationships are that way, lots of fighting, and blah, blah, blah. And then once you enter 20, it's like you want to separate yourself from kids. You want to become an adult, but you're not even really an adult. And in your situation, it's like you're still living at home. It's like, but you're trying to make this transformation into being an adult. And so you start to, just from the way you talk, it's like you're in that bridge between being a kid and an adult. It's like you're trying to talk like an adult more. You're trying to do all these things. And you start to do this thing where you become, you start to use your mind. You start to self-reflect more, where you're actually looking at your actions and wondering why you're doing it. Because I think, once again, I feel like you are trying to find your self-worth. I mean, you are obviously like on this, you're in this period of your life where you're basically, I don't have ambition. I don't have this. I don't have that. Like you're bottoming out a little bit.
In the safest possible way. Like at home with mom and dad.
Yeah. Just looking at your actions and going like, I don't have, here I am. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. My relationships are just like these conquests to try to make myself feel, it's like, that's why to me, it's like normal. It's like, it's normal 20-year-old behavior. It's like you're cast out, you're put into a situation where it's like, once we leave school, or if you don't enter like, post high school situations, you're left to be like, well, what is your future?
I think at this point, too, we're 10 months out from me seeing Slacker, which is the moment that I'm always like, oh, that's the moment that I decide that I want to be a filmmaker and everything changes. But I think what you're hearing here is the beginning of all that change. There's no way on earth that I would have been receptive or to the notion of, hey, I could do something unless I have these conversations with myself.
It's very dramatic to say that like you're adrift in the ocean and like you see a light, but it's like, it sounds really over dramatic, but I think for a lot of people, that's what their 20s are. And not all people. I mean, look, there are people who in their 20s are like going to medical school or, they have very distinctive ideas when they leave high school. But for a lot of people, that time of your life is that thing where you're like, you were probably, when you were in high school, were mostly just being very present with what you were doing. You're just like, I go to school, I do this, I do that.
I wasn't like, one of those cats that was like, oh, and then I'll go to college. And then like, I didn't really have a 5-year plan. I mean, I used to be like, oh, I want to write for Saturday Night Live. That'd be amazing.
But did it really, but that's like, there's a difference between that and saying like, I'm gonna go right. It's like, it sounds to me like it was more like, oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But did you really think about it as like, this is what I'm going to do when I get out of school? I'm going to actively pursue doing that.
Yeah, and how I actively pursued it was by going to sit in the fucking lobby of 30 Rock and hope to be discovered. Literally, I would sit there for hours and hope that like fucking Lorne Michaels would walk by and be like, that crying fat kid must have something funny to say.
Give him a job. Get him, as opposed to just like have him arrested.
Get that crying fat kid out of here. Right? I just want to write for SNL. But it was never like, oh, I'll go to this school and then that will help me write for SNL, or fucking like I could have done some independent study and been like, oh, the Harvard Lampoon seems to be a gateway to SNL.
It probably felt a little bit distant to you, where you're like, I don't even know how to do that.
Maybe.
I mean, you like go to the city of the lobby is like, as opposed to having it be something where it's like, oh, here's a goal I'll work to. You literally like, I'll just leave it up to chance. Like, I'll literally go sit in the lobby
rather than
and win the lottery.
Well, think about it. That defines my film school career. Yours as well. We went there, at least I went there, and they were like, we're going to train you guys to work, as PAs in the Canadian film industry. And I was like, you're out of your fucking mind. Like, just teach me how to use a camera so I can direct a movie. Like, I just want to leapfrog to the good part. I didn't necessarily want to fucking, like, people talk about paying dues and shit. Yeah, and I was like, I want to start. I was anxious for something.
But at least there's a practical element, which is like, at least you graduated from like, I'm going to sit in the lobby with no way of him knowing that I'm a funny writer.
That was me at age 18. Yeah. 2 years later, I got a little bit smarter. And 10 months after this, I get even smarter.
Yeah, where it's like, oh, there are practical steps to take towards that. And even like when we met at film school, it's like you left early because you understood that you'd gotten the practical steps that you needed.
Right.
Which was like, oh, I possibly needed to do all this, but now I have these other people to fill in these other
You guys finish. I'll go back and start this part.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man.
But that's a completely different Kevin from this Kevin.
The one that you met.
Yeah.
Or the one that left film school is different than this Kevin.
Yeah. But even the one that came to film school was just like, you had a sense of purpose. You had a goal. You had an actual goal.
That's true. Yeah.
You had a path.
This Kevin has nothing. His only goal, as we heard, was woo a girl, fucking get her to like you, and then you're doing, move on.
And then you're doing so little that you're on Ponder Rock, basically thinking about, like, you're wondering, like, why don't other people think about this? Well, maybe they had something to do.
Feel like we're working to put food on the table.
I'm busy.
Yeah, like I have a job.
Yeah.
I don't have time to bike around.
I'm going to school
and look at the fucking unexamined life and shit like that.
I hit shit. I go to class.
Yeah, man. Fucking.
I don't wander out to the ocean to fucking think about it.
Get a degree. How about that? How about you put this time on Ponder Rock into fucking class, get yourself some credits and a sheepskin. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's what folks were.
That's why it's awesome. I mean, it's, to me, it's like.
This may be, I mean, I hate to say this, but like, this may be, there's no roadmap, right?
Yeah.
But this is not a bad blueprint or outline of the life of an artist. Like that's what this is. Like I don't know what it is. It's like my brother one day was like, oh, I love cock. Like one day he woke up and knew what he was.
Yeah.
Me at this point, I don't know what I am, but I know it's something more than fucking, the guy little kid from New Jersey, fat kid from New Jersey, or the motherfucker who's just like, I'm the best fucking boyfriend you'll ever have for like 2 months. And then, I eat pussy really well, like fucking Laura says or whatever. Like all these many things, like, I'm trying to fill some void where I'm like, it's not enough. And I have this sense of like,
but it was
supposed to be doing something.
It was enough at a time.
Yeah. Like, and then apparently here,
like it wasn't like I'm sure that like you might have had rumblings of it, but in high school it might have felt like it was enough. Like,
I was in a relationship, for most of high school.
And once again, it's like the idea that your brain was painting a future picture when you're in high school.
But it was almost doing it blind, like, cause I had no clear vision of the future. Like, remember in Heroes, there was one motherfucker who's like, take heroin, all of a sudden he painted a picture and they're like, what does it mean? He's like, I don't fucking know. And then it was always an image of the future. I think I've got like, this is me on the verge or something like, again, I'm like 10 months away from the moment of absolute clarity, the fucking lightning clap, Shazam, the Shazam moment where I go from fucking this idiotic little Billy Batson who's just like roaming around with a fucking tape recorder on a bike and hitting Pond to Rock every once in a while because can't handle life, to motherfucking Captain Marvel, where suddenly I'm just like, don't worry, Billy, I got this. Thank God the lightning bolt happened and man in a cape took the fucking tape recorder away from that little boy. But it is kind of like that. I just don't have the magic word at that point. I don't have Kimota in the Miracle Man speak. It's me going, I know, like, it's weird, dude. I see it in my kid. Like, that's why I'm so sympathetic for my kid's like 13 and she's going through like, you know, fucking stuff that 13-year-olds go through, but it's very like, you just see she's like struggling. Like she's not like, I fucking hate school, but she's just like, she figured it out early. Like, I don't need half this fucking shit, you know, blah, blah, blah. And she wants to play the bass. And what does this school have to do? What do I need to know algebra for? And blah, blah, blah. But she's fucking whip smart and she can like ace math without even trying. But you could tell she's chomping at the bit for something. And not just like, you know, youth is always impatient. Like, I remember feeling like a fucking horse in a stall, just like, let me the fuck out. Like, but I just didn't know where I was going. And then suddenly there's that moment of clarity where it's like, oh, film. And it gets channeled there. And I'm not saying like I was fated to do it, but that was the only thing that eased that made everything better. Like suddenly I was like, oh shit. Suddenly I had a purpose, a goal, somewhere I wanted to go. I want to be a filmmaker.
Well, suddenly this like, I mean, our brains, cause we have, you know, we're one of the only creatures that thinks about the future. Like most, like, basically we are the only creature that thinks because of our frontal lobes. Most things they can think about the past and the present in the sense of like an animal can learn, oh, I hear that noise. Run away or whatever. But they don't fire. Yeah, they don't sit around going like, you know, I'm of this age and I probably got another 8 years of my life left.
They don't cognize their own deaths unless they're dying.
Or they don't sit around thinking about like, oh, I know what the future is. Me getting chased by fucking lions trying to stay alive. That sucks.
Or cause if they did, cause dogs would be like, look, if we all just sat around and thought about the future, there's more of us than them.
Yeah, we could win this thing.
Yeah, I mean, this could be ours. Like, instead of waiting for handouts, we hand shit out.
Or if somebody just comes along and is like, why? Then we'd have to work.
Yeah, like, don't hand anything out. Let's just kill humans and live off them. They're our cattle. The humans are our cattle.
But you're in that world, it's like your brain is always trying to like consider the future.
Right.
You're always trying to paint your future. Our brains don't necessarily do a great job of it, but we are always trying to think about what the future is going to be like. So in that moment where it's like you leave school, your brain thinks about the future and it's like there's fucking nothing really there. Like, what is your future? Your future is what ends up happening a lot is that you start to paint a future based on your present. So you're basically like, you're out of school, your relationship with Kim's over, you're sitting there on Ponder Rock thinking about your future, right? And all you really have to go on is the present, the past and the present. And you sit there and think about like, I live in my mom and dad's house, like and then you're suddenly like, is that my future? Like, am I gonna be fucking 45 years old, still at my parents' house? Like, our brains will start to fill in the future based on like certain pieces of material. And a lot of times it is affected by what your present is. So if in the present you're like, you're unhappy, you're at your parents' house, et cetera, you want certain things, it's like you start to project out a future of like, oh my God, that's my future. And then you start to, that gets you looking. And then as soon as you find film, it's like that aha moment is like, then when your mind is pondering and considering the future, it's like, I'm going to go do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to make this movie, and I'm going to make that movie, and I'm going to make
suddenly
this
I'm
movie.
no longer thinking about like fucking,
Suddenly what the future is not sort of, the future is sort of not as blemished by the present. Now it's like you have this thing that's completely unknown. You don't know. Like every time you think about the future, it may cause you anxiety because you don't know exactly what's going to happen.
But at the same time, there's hope because it's not like it is the unknown. So it's not the familiar. It's not you going like, oh, it's going to be this all over again. Future is this golden place because you're like, in the future, none of the bad shit ever happens.
Yeah. There's what it is like the future has all these possibilities. You don't have answers. Like there are all these questions you don't have answers to.
This would be like if my life was Superman the movie, this is when Superman is not yet a man and he goes off to the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah,
and he starts as a young man, and then when he leaves, he's Christopher Reeve and shit like that.
Yeah.
This is me talking to the crystals, my dead father and whatnot.
Exactly. You're in the fortress. Ponder Rock
is the Fortress of Solitude. Oh my God, man.
This is your superhero story.
You don't like dealing with people?
Yeah, that sounds like Superman. Hey, people, I'm misanthropic. I want to deal with them.
Dad, why'd you leave me here?
Unsuperman. The Kev Smith story.
You hold yourself above everyone else, and you have no reason to do that.
Why do you do that, Kev?
Yeah. Are you accusing me? Me? Present Kev? I'm doing this? Emo Kev? See, that's what I hear. He needs something to then hold himself above everybody else. He knows he's supposed to do something special. Don't know what it is yet. No. He's not content to just be like,
well, you hold yourself above people, but you know you're not. You're just like, I have no reason to hold myself above people now.
Yeah, like I'm so self-aware. Like I'm battling once again, dude, to put it, because everything's a movie. If this is the last temptation of Christ, I'm talking to Judas and I'm like, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? He's like, I'm struggling because I'm just a man, but there's something gnawing at the back of my head saying you're bigger than that. You're bigger than that.
Well, you're also in that moment, you're basically, you hold yourself above people, but what you're really saying is that you want to be held above people. That's what you want.
There's a
That's
yearning.
what you desire.
Yes.
But
in my head, I'm already there.
Well,
and now I just want everyone else to agree.
Yeah.
Is what it sounds
like. I need to figure out a way.
How do I get some of this respect I've heard so much about?
I read a book.
Yeah, I'm looking to give people a reason to see me the way I see myself, perhaps.
Yes.
In my finer moments, not now where I'm like, I'm evil, I'm misanthropic, I'm the king of dark notions.
Dark Notions. With Kevin Smith. Hi, I'm Kevin Smith, and welcome to Dark Notions.
This tonight, the darkest of notions. If you spit into the ocean, what do you think happens?
You're not better than anyone else. Scott, that's not true.
For a second, sound like a breakthrough.
You're like, I'm like everybody else.
No. Well,
it's like you're thinking about people in your mind.
Yeah, I'm like, well, not that one.
Not that guy.
Yeah, I
like that guy. I gotta be better than that guy.
I got it going on over this chick as well. You know what? Now that I think about it, I'm not a bad guy. Like, I'm essentially always trying to inflate my ego, which I'm always trying to deflate at the same time. The duality.
Well, you feel a certain way, but you don't want to feel that way.
I'm trying to justify it to the tape recorder.
Otherwise, how do you have an identity? Everyone has an identity for being a separate person, not for being better than everyone else. How am I supposed to love myself? Well, love yourself for what you are.
He's literally talking to himself now. Having a conversation and responding, dude.
Yeah,
this is the kind of shit they're trying to fucking put Amanda Bynes away for. They're like, she just has conversations with herself. I'm Amanda Bynes long before Amanda Bynes.
You were Bynes before Bynes.
I was Bynes in it, man. I'm Bynes in it. It is, I don't know, that's a little spooky to me. It is. I guess it's just.
You're working through shit.
But I'm also doing what the mind does. I'm just doing it
Yeah.
With out loud.
You're verbalizing.
Verbalizing exactly what goes on in your head, probably. Or at least what was going on in my head at the time.
Not for what you can be. And don't wait. Don't be like, well, I love myself when I'm like this. Love yourself where you are right now in the eternal scheme of things, in this infinite possibility-laden universe.
Infinite possible ladle.
Problem with Emo Kev is the wisdom he throws out there, you can't fit on a bumper sticker.
Yeah.
That's so many words, man.
It's a little wordy, but it's true.
Hey,
love yourself now.
Even at 20, he had wisdom to impart. I think.
And then if you become something else, love that too.
Shit. This is a lenient God, man. I like his religion, man. He's like, love yourself. And if you change, love that.
Love it.
Love it all. There's no guilt here.
It's all good.
Leave shame at the door. It's all good. All inhibitions left behind.
Just love yourself, man, at the present moment. And stop with that, women, source of all woe crap. Because even though it is true.
You are two-faced. You're literally just like, and all that women, it's like, fuck all that crap. You're like, but it is true.
I am, dude. I'm Harvey Dent, man.
I was emo, but I was entertaining.
You were decisive too.
I was.
You were just like fucking success or absolute failure. Abject poverty. Whereas I'm more like, let me ride the fence.
Yeah, wait a minute.
hey, easier. Slow it up. Slow your roll there.
I mean, you're just adding fuel to the fire.
Chicks are fuel to the fire.
I think I'm adding fuel to the fire by saying, women are the cause of all my woes.
Every time you hook up with a chick, you're adding fuel.
I blame her.
Yeah.
I'm adding fuel to that fire. I think my own conflagration of fucking, I'm mad at ladies for I don't know why I'm mad at this point. Like it's
the ladies.
All the ladies in the house.
You make me feel so bad.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why is this kid beefing with the ladies so much? It sounds like he's doing well. Well done, he's eating fucking just like his old man. He loves that young pussy.
It's the kind of thing you start today too, You got fucked with water that time.
Yeah, about seawater. Sea spit back at him. Fuck you, Emo Kev.
The mighty sea wants to greet you, Kevin Smith.
Oh, you're so amazing.
That fucking actually happened. Oh, no. No, we gotta dial it back. Oh, no.
The mighty sea wants to greet you, Kevin Smith. It has things to tell you.
Oh, dude.
So good. So good. Literally, it's like...
It wants to tell you that it's mad because...
I'm speaking for the oceans. I'm Aquaman.
Literally, it's like you fucking were trying to think about something. You got a little water on you, and you suddenly like, the ocean's talking to me.
And I know, and even worse, I know what it says.
I know what it says. What does it say?
Oh my God, dude. Oh.
It wants to tell you that it's mad because it's a woman.
Oh, America's poet laureate, Emo Kev. The sea is a woman. Please tell me he keeps going with it. He's got it. There's no way he just lets it die. Either that or he's going to quickly flip it and go, or the sea's a man.
The sea's not mad.
I'm not sure.
It's a churning, volatile
Or maybe it's an animal. Small dog, perhaps.
An angry dog.
Small and angry. Manageable. It's a poor metaphor for the sea.
Well, that's my point made right there. A lot of woe, a lot of grief caused by women. How many lives taken by the sea?
Oh, I see. The metaphor here is
you're done.
Yeah. Women, you see, are the sea. They've claimed as many lives. And created so much heartbreak. Boy, he better clean it up, man. He better fucking save himself.
Oh, women.
Oh, women.
Just regard women with caution, that's all. You don't have to hate them. Not the source of all woe.
Hey, kids.
Emo Kev becomes gay Kev. Women can live with us.
Let them live.
Look how soothing it is. Watching a wave form and then break. If only you could freeze it. Ready? Freeze.
You can freeze it. Why doesn't he just take a photo? Apparently in 1990, the camera hadn't been invented.
If only there was a mechanism
some way
for capturing images.
Some way to save this moment. If only I could paint.
That'd be good.
That'd be good. Mental note. Invent the camera.
Note to self. This concept of freezing.
It almost sounds science fiction-y. But if there was just some way to magically freeze moments, carry them around in a bucket.
Why am I wasting my time?
you know who's going to block this from happening? Women. They suck.
Yeah, women. They won't let you freeze anything.
Oh, I want to be married.
When will I be married?
It looks so cool. Sea is beautiful, God.
Religion comes in there. Spiritual. Maybe that's who I've been talking to all this time.
God?
Yeah. I mean,
you got to record it.
Seems busy.
Yeah. In case you want to go back.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
And here's some of my science.
I invented voicemail as well, Scott. In 1990.
Dear God, it's Kevin Smith.
Why are women so bad and the sea so big?
This particular sea isn't bad, although it could be a little cleaner. A lot cleaner.
Fucking taking a shit on the sea. Once again, like, the majesty of the sea that's speaking to me. That could be a little bit cleaner.
Who's going to pick this up?
You know, when I really look at it, it's kind of gross.
I said majesty? I meant magnitude. Garbage. Look at all this.
Disgusting.
Yeah, it stinks.
Something's always foam on top. It's a worthy sea.
Oh, come on, dude. That is that's a biography title if I ever heard one. It's a worthy sea. Kevin Smith story. Or a great indie rock band, like up there with fucking a Mumfords and Son, man. Worthy sea. You can buy that on iTunes. Thank God I've given the sea my approval, Scott, because who knows?
It was literally it was coming in and out waiting for you to.
It's on its way, man, out the door. I brought it back and popularized it.
It's a worthy life, isn't it?
I don't know. I've been listening for a while now. Yeah. Not really.
We're an hour in. And
I got to disagree with you on that one, Emo Kev.
I miss youth.
Holy shit.
20. I miss youth. I miss being young.
I miss 19. So long ago. Couple months.
So old. Death imminent.
I miss high school.
Oh. You did like it more.
I miss life.
What?
Because that was your life.
I miss a life that's worthy of being called life, not this charade that I live.
Oh, you used the word.
Oh, my Lord. And this life doesn't sound bad to me. It's got a good life. Hangs out with his friends, fucking tagging ass like you read about.
Yeah, and you got a lot of time.
I mean, I'm working out. I live on the water. I mean, this guy's got it all. Scott, I don't live anywhere near the ocean, and I think I've done well in life.
Yep.
This kid lives right on the water. He's got it all over me.
This half life. This is existence that I have. Yeah, we'll make it a life. And don't be like, oh, it'll be a life when I go to college. Make it a life now, man. Start today. What's so hard?
These are like empowerment tapes, dude.
Yeah.
Like Tony Robbins style and shit. You can play
Except
this.
for his is all empowerment. Yours is more like, start now. And then you're like, but so sad.
Or maybe I should start later. I shouldn't be so hard on myself.
And technically, like, start now. And you just keep taking yourself talking.
Start now. Or don't. Don't make me start. Who are you?
How'd you get in here?
Just do things a little bit to the left.
No.
Communist?
Or this might be the moment where this birth of View Askew, move things to the left.
Could be.
Look outside the box, son.
Or a little bit to the right.
Let me read into this idea of the left or the right.
Oh my God, dude. It's fucking emo Kev Romney and shit. He's literally just both sides. It's just like, I'll do this. Or
the other's fine.
I'm leaving
Which is
myself.
really a way of saying I'll do neither.
Pretty much.
And you'll have life. Start. Ran out here. You're on Ponder Rock.
Still trying to sell it. Nobody's buying, Kev. Nobody's buying Ponder Rock.
You are thinking. You are speaking. You are feeling.
Maybe a little too much of all of those things.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin, you're not that bad. Just a little misguided. So what are you doing, breaking up? Yeah, I'm breaking up with myself. I'm not ready yet, though. I'm not ready to say goodbye yet.
That's awesome.
Oh my God.
It
dude.
literally is like a Bergman film.
I'm sitting on the beach playing chess.
You are.
Emo Kev versus future Kev.
This is something we gotta do slowly.
Remember the guy a little while ago was like, do it now. Why not now?
Hey. Let's ease up. I haven't thought this through.
And we can't send it out with a pomp and circumstance. That's usually when it means it's not over.
So you can't end it like with big drama and shit, because that's doesn't mean that it's over. Got to really end it or change or whatever it is I'm talking about.
Change will come.
So relax.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah,
you know what? Why am I pressuring myself?
And how well you adapt to it. It's a matter of when. It's a matter of how. You know how you are with change. Awful.
You don't like change.
That's a topic for another day. I had a dream of Ernie last night.
Whoa!
On to the next topic.
Apparently, he just needed
to gay.
Gay Kev needed to fucking gay out, and everything got better for him. He's like,
I'm moving from Ponder Rock to Gay Beach.
I'm living on fabulous rock, people. Ernie, my friend from high school, Ernie O'Donnell, who was in Clerks as Rick Darris, the trainer.
Yep.
He's like, I'm only weighs 7 pounds. He's been in a bunch of our stuff and whatnot. We were very tight friends in high school. And then the end of senior year, our friendship kind of dissolved. So at this point in 1990, I don't think we've hung out again since. We're still in the space of him not talking. And Ernie, you know, as I talked about in the Clerks 10 documentary, that was the guy that I had in mind when I was writing
Dante
and Clerks, because not so much like that's my model, but he was the only actor I knew in the world. The only person that even years after high school still kind of liked acting, but we didn't hang out. Our friendship kind of fell apart because I did a talent show without him. And, in 1988 and didn't tell him senior year and didn't tell him I was going to do that because I felt it was such a long story and I'll have him on eventually. But it was about like, you know, every year I wrote it and stuff and organized, and it was just assumed that I would do it again senior year and whatever. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it this year. I was like, all right. And then there was no sketch, which is weird because we'd been in all the talent shows.
Yeah.
But instead I was doing something with Jason Schnorr. We did a rap thing, Enemy Deuce, and Ernie, I think, found out about it the day of the show. Somebody was like, you going to the talent show to see Kev? And he's like, Kevin's not in the talent show. I'm like, yeah, he is. Him and Jason Schnorr doing a rap. And he's like, what? And he didn't know. So he felt kind of betrayed, I guess. Although why, I get why, but my point always then was like, you could have gone to the talent show. There was no, if you wanted to go on the talent show, nothing holding you back just because I said I didn't want to do a sketch, blah, blah, blah.
But in his mind, like,
utter betrayal.
Yeah.
So we don't even, been friends since 4th grade. And then at the end of senior year, like we're not friends at all. So me going, I had a dream of Ernie. That's the background for that. Yeah. So let's see what it is.
October 23rd? 3rd. It's October 23rd? 3rd.
So this is only a few days after the last Emo Kev recording.
Yeah.
Walter's birthday.
Oh, Walter Flanagan's birthday.
And I had a dream of Ernie. We were friends again.
Guilt. It's a lot of guilt there. You didn't talk to me for a while. The first time we ever really started talking again was when I called him up. I was like, I'm going to make this movie, man. You want to be in it?
Yeah.
And that didn't end well either. Now we're on good terms, of course. This was years ago, but yeah, he's still fucking feeling the guilt.
So that's what all my dreams are, Ernie. Like, we're friends. So why is it that all my dreams are filled with regret? A sample of what life could be like, were it not for the mistakes I made, choices I made.
He does fucking sound like Batman, like the Frank Miller Internal, just not as tough.
Yeah,
it's not like I'm going to break bones. He's just like, why, I miss my boyfriends.
Torment. Back on Ponder Rock.
Back upon the rock. Back upon the rock. Lying on my back. Shit's not gotten better in 2 days.
Dreaming of a boy.
Lying on the rock.
It's a very Kevin day.
As we learned in the last episode of our Kevin Day is gloomy.
Yeah.
Gloomy and drizzling.
In case you hadn't heard the
I don't know why I bothered to explain it.
Should stay home. But I can't. I gotta run a video store today all day.
Oh, guess what video store that is, kids?
RST.
That is RST Video he's talking about.
Can't stay home today.
The city needs me. They need me in that video store.
There are rentals.
Late fees must be collected.
Tapes throughout.
Oh.
If only my life.
The C on my chest is a baptism. Now I'll rewind the hell out of those movies.
The sea rises up to say hello to Kevin Smith.
The sea has been and always shall be my friend.
Although the phone's kind of gross.
And blah. What? I still can't figure that one out. I don't know what he said, but
This means a lot of customers because of this rain. That's what I'm there for.
You have purpose.
well, it's true. The weather brings in all sorts of rentals when it's nice out.
Like, that's why I'm there.
Yeah, my job. That's if somebody had been like
to rent those people those movies. As a clerk, as a video clerk.
I know. Listen to like, if you look at Clerks, I'm obviously like, yeah, being a clerk ain't no big deal. This guy, this guy is just like, it's a proud tradition. I am the only one who stands between boredom and the people of Leonardo.
Who else could provide entertainment on such a Kevin day?
I heard from Kim yesterday. Letter.
What letter?
Seems pleased that we're allowed to talk in letters. Correspond through mail.
We're no longer dating. We're just friends, I guess. Or
I wrote it back quickly. I'm very good like that.
Hats off to me.
And a big old cheer to me for writing back as quickly as I did. Which, as you hear him say that, you're like, big deal. I write back people all the time. This is a letter.
Yeah.
This ain't no email, bitch. This is like, or is there no iChat? This is a fucking letter. I'm putting pen to paper, printing that shit out, or if you wrote it on a word processor, a big old fucking Stone Age word processor, and then mailing it, taking a day or two to get to Pittsburgh and whatnot. I mean, that's...
Oh, she's in Pittsburgh.
She's in college in Pittsburgh going to Carnegie Mellon.
Only with certain cases, of course. I mean, here was I received a letter, and 10 minutes later I was writing one off. In return, reply. It was alright. Nothing really glorious to say about it.
Except that it was done fast.
It was done at an alarming speed.
And I didn't wait. And that's about the best thing I could say about it.
Hats off to me.
My responses are usually much better.
Oh.
I mean, usually much better than her letters.
What a jerk.
That's awesome.
I'm a better writer than she is.
Oh, she can write to me.
Just not well. Or well enough. I'll love her so
quickly. I'm faster and better.
I saw Dee Wabisky last night in a video store. Amy's mom's friend. Nice lady, very nice. Told me that Amy's coming home. Says it like this. Amy's coming home.
Oh, master storyteller.
told me Amy's coming home last night. So she says it like this. Amy's coming.
It sounds like America's worst comic. Yesterday I met a guy who said he had a bite all day. So I met him. Oh, good Lord.
Amy's coming home. Says it like this. Amy's coming home. So which I really didn't react much because
he said it the exact same way. This guy says to me, he's going crazy out there by the lake. Says, I don't arrange that sort of thing, I says.
I know she'd been home before. I wasn't moved, I wasn't touched. It's kind of sad, man. What is that, the loss of innocence? Sign that youth is really trotting away. A grown-up can deal with things like that. Apparently I'm dealing with it, so does that make me a grown-up?
You nailed it, dude. You nailed it. You should have been a fucking therapist, man. You called it before Emo Kev did. Well, on the tape. He called it before you back in 1990. Yeah. He's figuring shit out.
You are.
We're almost at the end. There's
You're confronting.
A minute left.
Worth a shot, huh? Gotta beat what I'm living now. I'm gonna take off. Too chilly and I gotta get ready for work this morning. The old Kevin the Sea.
Oh my God.
Hear it howl.
There it is. That represents it, man. The end of Emo Kev.
As the wind and the sea swallows up.
Just eats him alive. The old, he said it himself poetically.
That was it.
The old Kevin the Sea.
That's, maybe you didn't keep going because you realized.
There's no more. Maybe that's it. Maybe you're right. Maybe that was like, I'm done with this shit.
Or it's like, what more did you have to say? You knew what you were doing. You know where you were, what you were confronting.
This is my, the bat comes through the window and shatters the glass and I go, yes, I shall become a bat. That's my Batman moment. I guess.
You let go.
It doesn't sound very heroic. Or even remotely masculine for that matter.
Now that the bats come through the window, I'll go to the video store.
The sad thing is, Scott, we got to let Emo Kev go because I don't have any more. The good news is this is 20-year-old Kev.
Mm-hmm.
Next on Smodcast, Scott, I will introduce you. We'll jump back in the Wayback Machine and I will introduce you to 14-year-old Kev.
No way.
Yes, there's audio of me recording a letter to a friend of mine, getting ready to go to school. So we'll be listening to that, and awesome. That is a weird gonna be a weird blast. But kids, there's something to be learned from all this Emo Kev, man. Long story short, shit works out. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two. Start recording yourself.
Yeah, because for your kids.
Oh,
anyway,
it's a gift. It's audio gold. Look how much fun we had with this, man. Don't be afraid to open up your thoughts into something private that you then bury. And remember, we're in the digital age, though, so
it's true.
Put them somewhere where it's safe. Yeah, like I had these on micro cassettes, and then it wasn't even like you could pass them around that easily. You would have to go buy a micro cassette recorder. in the digital age, man, make sure you put them somewhere your buddies can't find
them. Put them
on
on a hard drive somewhere far away.
So they don't fucking put them up on SoundCloud and shit. And they're like, is this you? And you're like, oh my God.
I wish I had. I really wish I had. Although, once again, I don't think mine would be as entertaining.
I hate Skull.
I'm going to punch this.
There it is, man. Emo Kev. We say goodbye to him. And thank God we knew him because we get here eventually, as we heard. Emo Kev hands over to Primo Kev. I think that'll wrap it up for Smodcast this week. I'm Kevin Smith.
Scott Mosier.
Have a week.